trying to block them. But President Trump had this warning yesterday.
I think if they do, it's foolish. There's nothing more important than borders.
McConnell says Republicans are not fans of tariffs.
Greg Cluxton reporting the fate of Missouri's only abortion clinic could be determined today.
Testimony will be heard today in a court hearing on Planned Parenthood's request for a preliminary injunction that would keep open its abortion clinic in St. Louis, the only one in the entire state of Missouri. That state's health department declined to renew the clinic's license to perform abortion procedures, which expired last week, citing concerns about patient safety. But Circuit Judge Michael Stelzer issued a temporary restraining order keeping the clinic open.
Matt Small reporting news and analysis at townhall.com.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-452-1075. 800-452-1075. That's 800-452-1075.
Hey, this is Steven with Defenders Live, and I'm here with my digital cohort, my AI, Dylan Lyles. Hey, man, say hi.
I can't do that.
Yes, you can. Just say hi to the people.
No, I can't do that. But what I can do is tell everyone to make sure they tune in to Defenders Live Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, only at MoJo.com.
MoJo50.com. Obviously, a few more bugs to fix, but we'll get them fixed up, and it'll be raring to go Monday through Friday.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252.
MoJo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. Adjust your mojo now. Thank you. The mothership has landed. Doc Thompson, Brad Staggs, a mighty MoJo 50.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is?
Guess what day it is?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's hump day.
It's hump day. Remember last week when it was hump day, but it was only the second day of the week?
Yes.
That's been a week ago.
Yes.
Damn, time flies.
It flies unless it's Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
Well, it's flying, though. I mean, the past week has flown by, which... by the way, that reminds me, I had a little message for you this morning.
Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more.
Well, everybody's freaking out right now, aren't they? It's just your first earworm. That is courtesy of a guy in Louisiana over there. So that's our first earworm of Earworm Wednesday.
Oh, Johnny Paycheck, right? Is that who that was? Yeah.
Johnny Paycheck.
It's been a long time since I've heard that song.
How long's he been dead?
I don't know.
Let's see. Johnny Paycheck died.
He had an ironic name for that song, though.
Yes, he did. Technically, his name was Donald Eugene Little. Damn, he has, wow.
How long has he been dead? 30 years?
16 years.
Oh, wow.
Man, time flies, which,
yeah,
February, March,
take
April,
this
May.
job and shove it. You know how many times I've said that in my career?
I know. And you can't fire me, I quit. You can't quit me, I fire. It's been 4 months since Doc left for his Florida vacation. Haven't heard a damn, not a postcard, nothing.
Nothing.
Selfish son of a... Speaking of Doc, when I was cleaning out the car, and if you haven't seen that car video yet, make sure you go to MoJo50.com, and it's right there on the front page. You can see what took us probably close to 20 minutes. And when I say cleaning out the car, I don't mean cleaning the car. I mean just getting crap out of the car.
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes just to take it all out and put it into a pile.
You know, I've probably seen that video about 6 times now, and every time I watch it,
something new,
I just crack up.
The bag of whatever that was
the goo.
Yeah.
Misty was watching it last night, and she says, "Ooh."
Yeah.
I said, well, "Listen to Brad." Brad goes, "Ooh."
Yeah. It was, thank goodness, it was in a Ziploc freezer bag because I don't know what was in there. I don't know if it started life.
Did it smell though?
No, because it was all zipped up.
But it looked like.
I did not dare open that up. I'm afraid I would have vomited into my mask. It was absolutely nasty. And you can see what we're talking about if you go to the MoJo50.com. It's right there on the front page. You can click on it. One of the things that I did find in the car, though, were those, it was called Oats Overnight.
What's Oats?
Oats Overnight. He must have gotten them up when we were at the National Restaurant Association show. And they're really good. It comes a little shaker cup, and you pour, like these packets, you pour into the cup, and then you pour like half a cup of milk in there, and you put the top on, you shake it, and you put it in the refrigerator, and then the next morning you drink it. And I did, and it was good. And then I looked on Amazon at how much they were.
But it's got to sit there? Is that what the deal is? It's got to sit there and soak up the milk or something?
And they're really good, and it's oats. These are the the big, not like the oats you get, not like oatmeal. They're like the thicker ones. I guess what do they call those? Steel cut or something?
Yeah, the bigger.
They're really good, but man, they are expensive. I mean, so I was looking on Amazon, and I just thought maybe somebody out there would have a.
Brad, I want to know what was in the white sack.
Well, I could tell you. Actually, it was.
Oh,
I know, right? And you would, I mean, looking at him, you wouldn't have thought that, but it's true. So just don't tell anybody. That's the important thing. If anybody has any suggestions, though, for a oats overnight, except not oats overnight, I would love the suggestion. It's they are a little rich for my blood, but they were good. And every time I think about going on there and buying them, I go to Amazon. It's like $45 for a 12, like a 12 pack, whatever.
Yeah,
it's like just a little too rich for my blood.
See, in today's society, though, that's what I don't get. Why would you want to do oats overnight? Like instead of putting them in a shaker, shaking them and then drinking it.
Because you have to let them. You can't just. They don't happen that quick. If you don't cook them, if you cook them with boiling water, then it would soften.
Yeah, but you still have to cook them for like 5 minutes if you're doing steel cut oats.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So you don't have to do that. You just shake them up, put them in the refrigerator, and then you can drink them the next morning. So you don't even have to use a spoon. It's for people who don't cook and just like to. I mean, I suppose I could go out there and get these.
Yeah, the problem with me, though, is I've got to remember to mix it up the night before.
I don't cook. I heat. And in this case, I shake and store.
The microwave generation.
I never have. Some people, you know what? Some people can't make a table. I can make a table. I just can't cook. I mean, I could cook. I just don't want to.
I got home last night and my 13-year-old, I'm like, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm making a cake." And I said,
"See,
honey, the other day you said you didn't want to eat any fat food." She says, "Ain't for me." I said, "Oh, it's not." She said, "This is for y'all. Sorry about you."
See? That's when it starts. The evil in them starts that young. And that never stops. Yeah. So she'll put
making all the crap.
She'll put that on the counter, and then because I saw you in here with the cake the other day, or was it last week, the week before? We had some of that cake, whatever the cake was that was left over.
Oh, from the doc thing.
And you can't help but
you're walking by it. I'm like, somebody got to eat that before it goes bad.
You don't want to waste it. There are little children in China somewhere wishing that they had a piece of cake, and you are just. I mean, you don't want to be mean to those poor little kids in China.
No.
I mean, how bad do you hate them? Not as bad as Donald Trump. Jack Hole Angry Beaver just tweeted, overnight oats are awesome. You can buy ingredients and make them cheaper. See, that's too close to cooking.
Yes.
That's buying. That involves a list and going to the store and mixing them up, and I just want to hear the ding dong, and then I go to the door, and Amazon has left me a box there, and I open the box, and I go and tear the top off, pour it in the thing, shake it up, put it in the fridge, and then I'm done, and then I can go make a table. They're not getting the point here, are they? Now, if Jack Hollingwood would like to come over and mix up my oats for me,
I'm quite certain. Yeah,
come on over and mix my oats.
Come on over and mix my.
Quaker, Hot Rocky with an I. Quaker makes, well, she said Quaker males. Overnight oats for it.
Quaker males. Yep. Quaker
Freudian
males.
slip. By the way, that was the problem with the Shakers in, if you go to Enfield, New Hampshire, there's it's Mascoma Lake, and there's a place, the Shaker Village up there. And the Shakers were a religious sect. And the problem is they did not believe in procreation. They didn't believe in sex. They didn't. Yeah, they died off.
You think?
Yes, they did. You had to join. It was like a.
They couldn't have had a very long lifespan.
No, they.
I mean,
get all that build up in there and woof. Not a good thing.
Oh,
what? I'm just talking about frustration. It was and I don't know what made me think of them. I think it was the Quaker males part, but yeah, they didn't last too long. Let's just leave it at that. I tweeted out the video of this a little bit earlier. This is they did this. I think was it Romania, Russia.
I saw this.
Did you see how weird this was? This is it's a video of, and this is a technological advancement because they have never been able to make a still image, to create a video using only a still image. And they did it with the Mona Lisa. They took the Mona Lisa, they put it in a computer, they used AI. I guess there's a little bit of music behind it. But essentially, there are 4 panels on this video screen. The first 3 are the Mona Lisa moving. And ironically, she's talking in all 3 of the
I'm going to tell you,
first.
that middle one is freaking me out.
Okay, what is the first, your first impression there of, because when you look at the Mona Lisa, the original, the painting, the Mona Lisa is, what was your first impression when you saw them move?
That it doesn't look like the painting.
In what way?
In that it,
go ahead, say it. Just let it go. Don't censor your thoughts. What were you thinking?
Looks like a dude. Sorry.
Really? Okay, that's a 180 off from what I was thinking. Because I thought she's more attractive. When she moves, she's more attractive.
So I'm looking right now. I'm looking at the still image.
Right.
The first one looked like a dude.
The first one kind of does.
The second one is the one that was freaking me out because that one does look like a more attractive woman.
Yeah, you're right. The first one does kind of. I'm looking at the second one, and the second one
it's got more feminine features.
Yeah, I think because I've never really looked at the Mona Lisa before and thought, got to have me say that.
That is crazy.
But when you see her actually moving, I mean, I could do without the blah blah blah. But blah, blah, blah. You know what she's saying right now. Why are you doing it that way? Why'd you have to paint me that way? That's what she's saying. But if you can get past that, she's actually, if that's what she looked like, she's not a bad-looking woman. Of course, when Ron starts it off with she looks like a dude, and then I come back with not bad-looking, that there's a little issue with that. But other than that, it's all right. She's not an unattractive woman if that's in fact the way that she looked in real life. I can understand why Pablo Picasso decided to paint her. You're welcome. Donald Trump continues just to embarrass us in England. He's just, we can't let the president out without just embarrassing us completely, no matter where he goes. At least that's what everyone in the mainstream media seems to say. He was actually on, I guess, Good Morning Britain. Good Morning Britain with Piers Morgan. I don't know if there's any audio to this or not. I guess it would help if I did that.
Are you allowed to do this? He didn't do that.
I think you can do that.
He didn't do that, and he definitely didn't do that. Right? I know that. Wow.
You want to try it?
I'll try it, you know.
Pierce Morgan.
Proved by being a politician.
Yeah.
It is my hair.
It looks like a bad Japanese movie.
Yeah.
It's Donald Trump and Pierce Morgan in Godzilla.
I think it's going to be.
Look out! Godzilla's coming.
Fist of
Godzilla.
Fury.
Yeah. So Pierce Morgan gave him a hat, a Winston Churchill style hat, and when the president took the hat from Pierce Morgan, he took it by the not the brim, but the crown of the hat, and he dented a little bit. And of course, that is what everybody picked up on in the mainstream media.
He can't do anything right.
The headline here from Metro, the Metro website over in England: Donald Trump damages Churchill hat immediately after Pierce Morgan gives it to him. And yesterday, I think I was talking to Brandon off the air, and I mentioned that there was another headline. President Trump touches Queen Elizabeth's back during the dinner something.
He did that before, too.
Did he break protocol? That was the headline.
Whose protocol?
That's just it. There is no protocol. That's my point. The headline was, did he break protocol? I touched her back. There's no protocol. There's no protocol. He cannot. I mean,
Well, evidently there's protocol in England. But there's not necessarily.
May I remind you, we kicked their ass in the war.
But the thing is look, when we go to visit another country, our job is to stick with as much protocol as we can, right? And
sure, be polite when in Rome.
That's right. But if you misstep, well,
the president
like
should
you're going to go to jail for
it. The
it.
president should know. And
I guess unless you're in North Korea.
And I guarantee you the president does know. Now, whether or not he chooses to follow that is a different, because if I were him, the first thing I would do, now remember, Mr. President, when you meet her, don't touch her back. The first thing I would do is reach out and give her a big hug. Just because.
There's that whole walking in front of her, too, thing that he did last time he was there.
Wah.
You remember that?
You know what? In this country, as a man, and no one ever does this anymore, but on the street, if you're walking with a woman on the street, and let's say that the two of you are walking, let's say the street is on your left-hand side, and you are walking with a woman down the street.
Okay.
Which side of the woman are you supposed to walk on?
On the left-hand side.
And why is that?
That's protection from the cars.
Sort of. It's actually protection from mud. Yeah, mud. Yeah. And so when carriages would go by, if they would get splashed, you would shield the woman from the mud.
I can see that. I mean, I walk like that with my kids on the inside, too.
Believe me, if a car comes up on the sidewalk, you ain't protected. It's going to take all of you. So
look, it makes a person feel better, right?
Yeah. If you want to fool yourself into that.
I don't know. It's chivalry at its finest.
Sure. But no one ever does that anymore. But it's like
the last time I saw a man take his jacket off and throw it in a mud puddle for a woman to walk across, it was
hell no,
hell never.
Why would you? How about, hey, honey, walk around the mud puddle? Why do I have to ruin my jacket for her?
Or pick her up and carry her over.
If you want to do that, that's fine too. I still say the mud puddle can't be that big. Walk around it.
There is.
What about common sense? But they can't. They cannot leave this guy alone. It doesn't matter what he does. If he gave $100 to a charity, it would be, it was
he
wrinkled.
Only gave $100.
Yeah, we could afford more than. But did you see the bill he gave? It was wrinkled.
Billionaire gives a $100 bill. Only.
It just gets so old. And you never saw this with Obama. You just didn't. When Obama would stick his foot in his mouth, you'd see maybe you'd see a headline somewhere. I mean, generally Fox News would pick it up, but that was about it. Otherwise, it was, well, yeah, you should have heard George Bush. George Bush was no wordsmith.
Oh,
by any stretch.
Exactly.
That guy couldn't talk to save his life. He stuck his foot in his mouth everywhere he went. Almost like Joe Biden. But do you remember the bust of Churchill in the White House, in the Oval Office? And as soon as Barack was in there,
he removed it.
He removed it. He set it back. They offered to it was on loan from Britain after the 9/11 attacks. It was a show of solidarity and all that. And when President Obama was elected, they offered to continue the loan, and he said, "Nah, thanks. No, you can keep it." And that to them, no big deal. I mean, if President Trump did that, it would be, Trump snubs Britain. Trump snubs Britain in biggest blow-off in history. It's just after a while, they are becoming a cartoon. It's and I hate politics, but it's just so painfully obvious what they're doing with all of it. They haven't. He was going to be impeached. By God, when the Mueller report hit, oh boy, and then Robert De Niro with his long line of U.S. attorneys that, oh man, there was all obstruction this and obstruction that and blah blah, and they are, if they were going to impeach, they would have done it by now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They're just stretching this thing out until the 2020 election, hoping that it's enough to take him down, which it won't be, but whatever. And by the way, I thought and I don't know if Izzo started it or not, but the president, turns out the president doesn't need glasses because he's got 2020. K.O. See what I'm saying?
Of course he does.
Because let me do that again. Because he's got 2020. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that's being Johnny on the spot there.
That's true.
If we head down to Florida.
The Florida man.
Well, actually, this guy is the that Yutz that was at Parkland. The Broward County Sheriff's Deputy.
How long ago was that?
Parkland was it was just last year, so it was the first part of last year, so a year and a half ago.
It took them long enough to figure out what they were going to do.
Former Broward Sheriff's Deputy Scott Peterson, which is not the best name to have.
Scott Peterson.
Well, apparently that's not the name to have these days. He's been arrested, charged over his failure to act during the Valentine's Day mass shooting at
I was going to say, he's the one that they show standing behind the...
Yes.
Yeah,
He's the guy that did not go in. Heard the shots, wouldn't go in. He was the armed school resource officer at the time. He faces 7 counts of neglect of a child, 3 counts of culpable negligence, and 1 count of perjury. This is a statement made yesterday by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. He was booked into the Broward County main jail. He could face up to 97 years in state prison if convicted, which his bond was set at $102,000, which means he can get out on $10,000. The closed circuit footage from the Parkland shooting shows him approach the high school building in a golf cart as the gunman was inside shooting 17 students and staff members. He then hopped off the...
he heard the gunshots, though, right?
Yeah. He hopped off the golf cart, he unholstered his gun, and he ran behind a concrete wall for cover. And while someone said, well, yeah, that's what I knew. No. Your job is to, much like a fireman, your job is to run into the burning building.
That's what
That's why you're there.
Yeah, when you become a police officer, that's what you accept as your job.
Yep. Your job, like it or not, when the shooting starts, you got to run toward the gunfire. That's what your job is. I mean, it sucks, and no one wants to do that, but that's your job. The investigation shows former Deputy Peterson did absolutely nothing to mitigate the MSD shooting that killed 17 children, teachers, and staff, injured 17 others. That's according to the district commissioner down there, Rick Swearington. Not to be confused with Al Swearingen from Deadwood. There can be no excuse for his complete inaction and no question that his inaction cost lives. That's true.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. Have absolutely... no empathy for this guy whatsoever. Get used to paying more for food. It's going to happen in the next few months. The reason is, and we talked about this last month, the month before that, all the flooding in the Midwest.
It is wearing them out.
Millions of U.S. acres of farmland will go unused this year because of the flooding. Over the plains, many of the farmers that did manage to plant crops, they are reporting extremely disappointing results. 12-month period that concluded at the end of April, the wettest 12-month period in U.S. history. and more storms. It's this is unusual. I mean, even down here for Texas, we had rain this morning.
Yeah.
It keeps raining. It's
I want to say for the last 4 or 5 weeks in a row, we've had at least 1 or 2 days of rain.
Yeah,
every week.
Yeah, and this is generally in June. You don't see that much rain down here, but it's obvious. It's because you're driving an SUV. If you weren't so damn selfish, and if you would trade that in on a Prius, we wouldn't see you'd be paying less for food. So I hope you feel better when you jump into that big SUV of yours and gas it up, because it's all your fault. Food prices will be going up, and poor children in Indonesia and China will be hungrier than ever because you have an SUV. As long as you accept responsibility for it, we're all good. Selfish.
There are some of us, Brad, who recently realized that changing vehicles doesn't necessarily help you with the gas mileage.
Nope, a V8 is a V8. Old Brandon, he
went from a V8, what was that, a Camaro?
He had a Camaro, now he's got a truck. Wow,
and the truck doesn't get even as good a gas mileage as the V8 on the Camaro.
No, it's about the gearing. It's about the mostly the transmission, because it's they're geared differently than a car, and you're not going to get all that great a gas mileage in them.
Yeah,
but you can pull a boat.
Yeah, you can.
He doesn't have a boat, but you can pull a boat. I don't know if it's if the rain has affected them up there at in Minnesota or not.
Yeah,
But the thing about here's the wild rice grows in water.
I don't think wild rice grows in water.
Absolutely,
does it? Standing water.
Yes.
That was
how they harvest the rice is they go out there with a canoe, they bend it over. I'm serious. They bend the stalks over. They bend the stalks over. They beat the stalks with a paddle. That's how you harvest wild rice.
What country are you in?
Okay, you didn't believe me about the graham crackers either.
That is a damn fact. I did not.
So why would I lie to you about the way
everything you read on the internet is true?
This comes directly from their website. So if you don't believe me, go to MoJoWildRice.com and right at the top you'll find out how they actually get out there and harvest the rice. And you can get the grilling sampler pack. If you use the promo code GRILL10, you will get 10% off that grilling sampler pack. And after all, it is time for a little spring barbecue.
Yeah, it is.
It's also time for this. All right, you'll be singing that the rest of the day. By the way, just so you know, it's Tarzan Boy. Doesn't really matter because you'll just be going, It's Earworm Wednesday, and this, of course, is your Daily Mojo.
Happily promoting the 4 F's: freedom, faith, free markets, and fun. Mojo 50.
I'm Mike Opelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill. Well, the left is going to lose its mind today. No shock. It's a day that ends with a Y, and we can owe that freak out to Mitch McConnell. The Senate Majority Leader answered a question yesterday, a question about whether or not he would proceed to approve a Supreme Court nominee next year in 2020. Should an opening occur via death or retirement, whatever? McConnell said yes, he'd fill it. And this contradicts directly what he said in 2016 when Barack Obama nominated Merrick Garland, and McConnell said, no, we don't do that during election years. Yesterday, he explained why he is for filling a Supreme Court opening should it happen in 2020.
Everything else changes. You know, I remember during the tax bill, there were people agonizing over whether one part of the tax bill was permanent or not. I said, look, the only way the tax bill is permanent depends upon the next election. The next election. Because people have different views about taxes in the two parties and approach it differently when they get in power. What can't be undone is a lifetime appointment to a young man or woman who believes in the quaint notion that the job of judge is to follow the law.
The quaint notion of appointing judges who will follow the law. What a wonderful statement. I supported McConnell when he blocked Garland and I support him when he talks about making sure the court stays on path and constitutional. Testudo, my friends. Testudo.
Mike Opalka's 2-Minute Drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com.
The Daily Mojo.
And all of those communiques coming in with the hashtag What I Learned Today. Shy Boy in Iowa tweeted there were also over 1 million head of cattle that died due to the combination of the polar vortex and flooding. So, yeah, meat's going up in price as well. Scooter biker, I have never heard about a fireman refusing to run inside a burning building to save children. Why have I heard about police who won't go into a building full of children to take an active shooter? Yep, that's true.
It's hard to think about what was going through this guy's mind, of course.
Oh, it's natural human
And he probably freaked out. Don't get me wrong. He probably just said, I got scared and I can't do it.
Well, the problem is
he's a police officer.
Yeah. And
it's what he's being paid to do.
Especially when you're in a school like that and you start to hear the shooting. That is... now, backyard cows, interesting take. I don't see how Scott Peterson can be charged. The Supreme Court has ruled that the police have no responsibility in protecting the public.
That's a damn fact.
Yeah. We are in the upside down. Lori F&D's back.
Hey-o. Lori.
She's back.
She was driving for a long time yesterday.
Yeah, she was. Long drive back up to Pacific Northwest. Baltimore, Tarzan Boy. That's who the... earworm was. And Larky F and Farkin, every time I hear the song Tarzan Boy, I think of the final TMNT movie from the 80s.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Right,
Come on, Brad.
All right. I'm going to admit it. I hated the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, they just irritated me.
There's a friend of the television station here that we're in this building who was one of the turtles.
What station?
This
television station?
Yeah.
It's a TV station? Is it technically? Is it a TV station?
Okay, they have TV studios. I guess I don't know.
It's okay, Grandpa.
Yeah, it is a TV station.
Okay,
it's TCN.
All right,
the Country Network.
You want to call it that? I mean, that's not what the kids are calling it, but
what do they call it?
I think that you've
don't start the damn joke if you can't finish.
You've embarrassed yourself enough. Let's just leave that there. This has been on my radar now for a while, and I haven't had a chance to mention it. But the remember Madeleine McCann? I said that, and I think a few weeks ago on Netflix until Friday, I said that there was a documentary on it's Netflix. Maybe Prime, about the Madeleine McCann case. And it's a fascinating case. They still haven't solved it. And that's the little girl when the family was on vacation in Spain, I want to say. She just disappeared. They were literally 30 feet away in the restaurant. They could see the condo that they were staying in from the restaurant. And when they got back, she was gone. I think her brother was in the other room, but I can't remember. Anyway, the police have named a German child killer and dubbed the Masked Man. He is a new suspect in the disappearance of Madeleine McCann. He's 48 years old. He's currently serving a life sentence for the murders of 3 boys while they were on holiday with their families. His name is Martin Ney. He's from Hamburg. He acquired the nickname after targeting his victims wearing a mask or a balaclava over his head. He's said to resemble a photo fit. That's one of those English words. He is said to resemble a sketch of a man who was seen with a child in his arms shortly after Madeleine, then 3 years old, vanished in 2007. It was Portugal while they're on vacation there. He was working for an evangelical church on a project for the homeless in Portugal at the time of the disappearance.
He kind of matches, doesn't he?
Yeah. They all kind of look alike over there. The British. Sources say that detectives working on Madeleine's case are allegedly linking new evidence about Ney to her disappearance. They say that fears have also been raised that he could have been part of a pedophile ring operating on the Algarve. I think that's a body of water, but I'm not sure. I'm not that well traveled, apparently, around the time that she went missing. Now, there was a lot of speculation that she had been kidnapped and was part of a sex ring.
Yeah.
But, and I don't know honestly, I don't know if you're the parent, I don't know which is worse. I don't know if it's worse to think that she is alive and part of a captive sex ring, or if she's dead. There's just
one is not better than the other.
Nope. So I don't know. As the parent, I don't know which one of those you'd prefer to have happen. I'd prefer to have neither one of them and to have her back, but life can be cruel. Just ask Google. The government apparently is getting ready to launch an antitrust probe into Google.
They're not the only ones. They're going to go after Facebook, too, I think.
Yeah, Facebook, Google, and Amazon, and their shares yesterday apparently dropped in the on the stock market after reports suggested the authorities are going to be preparing investigations into anti-competitive behavior by the likes of Facebook and Google. Really? I mean, Facebook is being anti-competitive. Come on. Really? The people that run Facebook, that's a good bunch of people. They just want to, remember, they want to make sure that every side of an argument is heard. They want to make sure that both sides of the political spectrum are represented on their platform. I mean, come on, they're just good people trying to make an honest living in this country.
Until you search something.
Oh, wait, did I say Facebook? Sorry.
Until you search something that only gives you one side of the story.
Right. Pretty much anything that only gives you one side of the story. I saw yesterday Dana Lash she's created a profile over on Parler. I downloaded it. Yeah. I haven't started it yet, but the problem with it, and it's like MeWe, it is just hard. First of all, MeWe, I mean, and we will get to you guys over there in the chat room because I saw the earlier tweet that you should check out the overnight MeWe chat, and I did. And I wasn't shocked, as usual.
Is it similar to an After Dark MeWe chat?
They all are. The problem with MeWe, they still need to make some changes over there. They still need to make some changes in the chat. You can't get in there and like. It's a little tough to navigate sometimes.
It is. It's all over the place. But the other thing that I wish, from a IT standpoint, if you will, they don't allow you to embed their chats anywhere.
Well, that's kind of crazy.
They don't have video.
Right.
I mean, you can upload.
So there's some issues.
Yeah.
And Parler,
they're still growing, but.
All right. They've been around now for what, about a year and a half? Because they launched about
we launched, was it?
With them, essentially.
We did launch.
The end of 2017, I want to say.
No, Brad.
Yeah.
That's not when we launched with them.
They
may have, but we launched with them. Remember, it was quite possibly, well, no, I mean, we had an agreement with them through the end of December this last year.
Right. And so it was beginning of 2018. So end of 2017, beginning of 2018. Right in through there. Didn't they start? Because we started over here, April of 2018?
Yeah, I want to say we met them and started talking to them sometime in June or July.
Was it that? Oh, so it's been a year?
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun, even when you're not.
So I haven't used Parler before.
I haven't either. I downloaded it, but it's like, oh, man. I mean,
it's just another. See, I don't have time my day to go to all of these places, and
I thought having 3 producers was enough. I'm going to have to up it to 4, just because.
Just a tweet for you,
just to handle the extra social media. I mean, the 3 producers I have their hands full, just trying to get the Instagram and the Facebook.
It would have been cool if you had them in as dance partners this morning.
I don't know. They were out busy. They were working.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think I give them time off to? Please, with what they get paid, they need to be just working all the time. So yeah, Parler is apparently going to be. I don't know if it's the next big thing or if it's the next thing at all, but we'll see if that works. And then there's TikTok, which, by the way,
TikTok is hilarious.
Do you have a?
Yes, I do. Actually,
you started your account over there.
Yes, I did. So, have I done any TikTok videos? No, I have not.
Why?
No, I don't know, because there are some people that you look at on TikTok and make you go, oh, how in the hell did you get an account?
Yeah.
It's like, okay. TikTok is like the Walmart. It's like going to Walmart.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
No, not all of them.
It's some of those I'm like, whoa, boy, I feel guilty. Ooh, I just feel a little guilty. A little guilty looking at this, but then I get past it.
Well, the
really
thing
fast.
about TikTok is that, if I talk to my 13-year-old daughter, she thinks it's a bunch of 12-year-old kids, but that's not the case.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Papa Top again.
Oh, that was perfect time.
Just water.
That's water?
Yeah, just water flavored beer.
Nice.
Speaking of Walmart, a Pennsylvania woman claims that she was asked to leave a Golden Corral restaurant last week because she was dressed, quote unquote, too provocatively. Soretta Emka, I think that's how you say her name. It is now. She said she was dining with her family at a Golden Corral in Erie, Pennsylvania, when a manager said that her crop top was too inappropriate and some customers had complained. She asked was it inappropriate. Now, Ron, I want you to do me a favor. Close your eyes for a second. I'm going to bring this full screen.
I'm thinking.
Close your eyes. Keep your eyes closed, and I'm going to bring it up full screen. And I want you to don't open them yet. But when I say open them, I want you to give me the first thing that comes to mind.
Do you want me to switch to that screen?
I want you to switch to the screen and give me the first thing that comes to your mind. This is the one. Here you go.
Ready? Go. Oh my God.
That is Soretta Emka.
So her crop top was too revealing? Is that what the deal was?
They just said it was inappropriate, and I tend to agree with them.
Well, that's because she got a shelf there.
She's
and a little belly. And down.
I am not one to throw rocks, living in a glass house myself. But let me just say, I would not be caught in this outfit. I might look better in the outfit than she does, but I would not be caught dead.
Can we tell what the tattoo is? I'm just curious. Looks like a dog or something.
No, a dog wouldn't sit there that long. I think is that a cat? Whatever it is. I don't know what it is. But it's a nice distraction from the rest of the picture.
You know what cracks me up? Is people think they're hot taking pictures in a gas station bathroom.
That's probably Golden Corral.
Oh, good Lord.
That's where she got kicked out.
I'm sure they're
I want to say this because you know that when Soretta got up, whatever morning this was last week, she got up, she put on her clothes, she looked in the mirror and said, "Damn, I look pretty good." She walked out of the house thinking, "Hey, I'm doing all right today." And I'm sure that there are some who would agree with her. I can't say I'm in that. I mean, it.
Look, some dude out there's thinking that's hot. I'm telling you right now.
Absolutely. And again, who am I to judge? I just think I may have chosen a different upper. I would have chosen a different crop top and a different crop bottom if I were Soretta. She wrote on Facebook that the manager's request probably had more to do with her not being thin, so it's not considered sexy. She said she had seen people in there wearing less and nothing is said to them. How can you not have a dress code but then make one up for certain customers if another customer complains? That's not okay. It is discrimination, and she is absolutely correct in that.
She is correct.
And I will stand behind her. You wouldn't be able to see me, but I will stand behind her.
Wow.
Sorry, that one was, I apologize, but it was appropriate. It's discrimination. She said, if you are okay with that, where are you going to draw the line? And she's correct. You cannot have a certain set of standards for one person and a different one for others, no matter what they look like. So we should probably tweet that link out because you can't fully appreciate exactly what the people in the Golden Corral were feeling until you see this. And so there you go. There's a link to the story. Just went out on the show's Twitter account. And also Brandon did cover this yesterday in headlines, but I wanted to see it. This is the millennial toilet paper
Oh,
roll.
the big roll.
Because I couldn't quite picture it. I kept thinking, how do you get a roll of toilet paper? Because I'm thinking the traditional, the mouth that's on the wall.
Yeah,
that two
turns
arms.
it, that the roll goes forward or backwards. No, you'd have to switch to something like this.
Right. And this is the roll is on a floor stand.
They've been making these rolls like this for years, though.
Yeah, you
for a business.
A commercial toilet paper dispenser.
Toilet paper dispenser, right.
Now, I think the difference here is that Charmin, it's not
paper. It's not
like sandpaper.
Well,
the toilet paper you get in the bathrooms and generally in a commercial building, you would do better off wadding up the New York Times and using it.
There is that.
You'd
or it's like rice paper, and you can see through it.
Right. Never ends well. But this is a Charmin roll that is probably, a foot across? That's a good idea. I mean, if you've got the floor space for the stand, because, if you run out of this toilet paper in less than 3 months,
I'm going to tell you right now, every woman who has a husband who doesn't replace the toilet paper roll is looking at this going,
Plus, you're right. You can't hang this the wrong way. It's not possible.
That's correct. Oh, that's correct.
It's just, no, I take that back.
Why would you hang it on the side away from you? You would hang it on the side.
Well, if you're right-handed, you'd hang it
Well, of course.
But if you're left-handed, you'd hang it the way it's hanging there now. You'd hang it
that would piss me off.
Well, you just don't.
Everybody in my house hangs the toilet paper the wrong damn way right now.
Did they really?
Yeah.
And you still live there?
They pull it off the back. What in the hell?
That doesn't make any sense.
Toilet paper comes off the front of the roll, right?
Yes, it's supposed to. And who was it that tweeted the patent for the toilet paper?
Now I will tell you this. Here's the thing, though, Brad. If you have cats in the house, the correct way to put that toilet paper roll on there is off the back.
Yeah, that's Speaking of cats, that was one of the things that the overnight not Twitter discussion. Excuse me. I didn't realize we have a dignitary on the phone. Hold on. Somebody's turned this around. There. Nope. Why don't you just go ahead and answer that? We have a foreign dignitary on the phone calling from miles and miles away. Timmy the pilot, ladies and gentlemen.
A foreign dignitary? Are you crazy?
Well, yes,
oh my
but
God.
Not for that.
Okay. Hey, welcome to the 7 Mile High Club. I've never seen a UFO all the years I've been flying, but I happened to see something today that just freaked me out.
What did
a half an hour ago.
What did you see?
About a half an hour ago, we was flying over Kentucky.
Yeah.
And we looked down, and with all this rain we've been having, I saw Noah's Ark. What's going on?
Well, you see, actually,
But
in
isn't
Kentucky, there is a
there
Noah's
is a
Ark.
Noah's
Yes.
Ark in Kentucky.
Yes, so it's you did actually see Noah's Ark. It's I think it's a full size replica that they have up there.
That's what they're saying. Yeah,
it looks pretty cool in the.
Well, whoever built this thing is huge. We looked down, we thought, okay, this is it. This is the end of time. We saw like people going 2 by 2 into this thing. It's like, okay.
As long as they're not wearing crop tops and eating a Golden Corral, we're okay.
I didn't see that. We're headed down to Florida, and we've been running in the rain all the way from Detroit all the way down. We're over just south of Nashville right now. So
you know
I'm
what
waving
cracks
at
me up? It cracks me up that Timmy the pilot at 7 miles in the air sounds better on the phone than every other caller we get.
Well, that's because my headset's one of them Bose noise canceling. headsets, so
Yeah. He's a pilot. He's
That's
rich.
pretty
He can
good.
afford the best.
I'm not rich. Get out of here. We just got done selling all of our clothes on eBay that you guys put us up to last week.
Yes, thank you
So
for
now
bringing
we're
that
out-
up.
Yeah, well, it's grounds around for new clothes.
There you
Anyway, I
go.
just want to report Noah's Ark this morning. So,
Noah's Ark is
so
in Kentucky.
Okay, so we're safe. This isn't like the real thing, right?
I'll meet you in Kentucky. Or
Okay, buddy.
And you know what they say? if she looks under 16, take her to Kentucky.
There you go. Well, happy trails from us up here at 7 Miles High, and have a great day. Talk to you guys later.
Speaking of 7 Miles High.
You are now entering Odyssey Station. Please remain seated until docking is complete. Odyssey, dare to wonder.
Now this headline Ex-defense official, UFOs pose a vital national security threat. According to a top ex-defense official, the United States is not the only nation that has struggled to explain UFO sightings. Not only have the sightings been happening worldwide, but Christopher Mellon, a former Deputy Assistant Director of Defense for Intelligence, that's a lot to put on a business card, says the unidentified flying objects pose a vital national security threat. According to the report by the New York Post, the U.S. Navy pilots who recently reported seeing UFOs on a near daily basis in 14 and 15 have legitimate concerns about their time on Earth. In numerous interviews, Navy pilots have revealed that they have seen UFOs moving at hypersonic speeds. The speeds that were reported by the pilots, about 5,000 miles per hour, were only sustainable for about an hour by any aircraft in the air, but these objects would be flying around all day long. Something is going on. I don't know what it is, but something is happening.
Did you watch any of that first episode of Unidentified? That's on the History Channel. It started on Friday.
All right, so that is not the same as UFO on Amazon, because both you and Debbie Treadway suggested that I watch UFO, which it turns out I think I may have watched part of it, but I think I may have watched it during nap time.
And falling asleep.
Which, the things I put on during nap time, I don't see much
this
of.
Unidentified documentary, it's a series, obviously. It's on the History Channel, and this thing's pretty interesting. This is the one that's talking about the USS Nimitz encounters and the little Tic-Tac UFO that's flying around, that was zipping around.
Oh, because it's shaped. Oh, the thing that looks like a Tic-Tac. Yes, that one.
Very.
They call it a Tic-Tac UFO. You're right. The Super Hornet pilot once said he almost collided with one of the objects. Fears the UFOs and the fears of the UFOs amplified. The pilot described the object he nearly missed as a sphere encasing a cube. There's something happening here. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think we're headed towards something. We're headed towards something big.
We have to be. Either that or technology that we don't know about yet has been developed and, of course, is being kept secret. And we know that the government does that. We know they do it.
Well, exactly when they finally do find, when the UFO does land on the White House front lawn, Trump will screw it up somehow. Trump touches back of alien from Mars. Did he break protocol? It'll be his fault. Whatever goes wrong, it'll be his fault. At least we've got that part of the story. So that is our Odyssey Minute for today. And, of course, Odyssey1.com. That is our sister station if you are into the unexplained, the unexplainable, or anything that's just kind of out there in what I consider coast-to-coast land. You will find it over at Odyssey 1. That's ODYSY 1.com. And I'm still, sent me a message. I talked to my friend Ted. Ted Wells, who he and I we actually had one of the first real series on UFOs, I think, on television, because this was back in 89, 90, and we did a whole series for the Nashville Network, and there wasn't really much on UFOs on TV back then at all.
Both of you were on that show?
I was. He was a lighting. He's a lighting director, and he assisted. Ted is an interesting guy, and he will be, as soon as I figure out exactly what this podcast that I'm going to do on Odyssey One is, I'll let you know. But it's we saw some weird stuff. We saw stuff in Alabama that I can't explain.
Have you ever physically seen an object in the air?
Really? We saw one in I think I told this story, that we saw the one in Alabama. We saw it coming over what looked like a giant 18-wheeler coming down the side of a mountain, and we looked over. It sounded like it was downshifting into granny gear, and we looked up and we saw this rectangular set of lights, and we thought, okay, well, that's just a truck coming down the hill. The trouble is there was no hill there. That was the sky. We were looking at the top of the tree line, but there was no sky, or there was no hill, and kind of freaked us out. We drove over to where this was, and it looked down over a valley, and there was an old abandoned Air Force base there that had been abandoned for years. So we never did quite figure out what it was, but we were standing there with the mayor of the town.
Yeah.
No idea what it was. Ted actually investigated a residence in, was it Alabama or Georgia? I remember the guy's name quite well, Coy Luna. Coy Luna was the guy who reported that some sort of a craft landed in his backyard. And he said that Coy, I think, may have, occasionally had a little bit to drink. Just possible. But so Ted and another guy went down to investigate this, and they went in the backyard. Coy said, this is where the craft landed. And a couple of things about this encounter make it unique in that, number one of the beings, whatever you want to call them, when they knocked on the door, he let them in. One of them wanted some water, or he offered them water, something. In any event, he gave them a glass of water. Smart, because he got a fingerprint. And the only thing, they had the fingerprint analyzed, the only thing that they could tell from the fingerprint was that whatever it was that left the fingerprint had extraordinarily long fingers. Like not normally.
Interesting.
That is number one. And number two.
But there was a print.
Well, there was a print. And number two, there were indentations in the backyard. And Ted went out and he kind of put his finger in the hole. And he said, yeah, it was just maybe where a spike had been. And he didn't think anything about it. I think within the next couple of weeks, all of the skin on his finger turned red and peeled off. Take that for what it's worth. If you've been watching Chernobyl.
Well, there is that radiation.
So I don't know. I can't tell you what they are,
so,
but I can't tell you what they are.
I told you this last week that they're kind of moving away from the acronym UFO now.
Right.
Because that's been so overused.
Right.
Now it's unknown aerial phenomena. Or it's UAP now.
Let's just call it a UFO. It's not going to, that's not going to stick. It's still going to be UFO.
Well, it's what the government uses now.
The government's on the hip edge of stuff. Should always do what they want. It's still a UFO.
Yeah, it's called, the show's called Unidentified. It's on the History Channel.
Wait, what'd you say? It's an unidentified aerial, UAP?
Unidentified aerial, or I said unknown, but it's unidentified aerial phenomena.
So UAP.
UAP.
So is MUFON going to change their name to MWAPON?
MWAPON? I don't know.
No, of course not. It's still going to be UFO. F in Florida man said, come on, Real Brad Staggs. The government has known about UFOs since the 1960s. Why else did we stop going to the moon and Kennedy was killed? There you go.
All righty.
I love the fact there are no conspiracy theorists in this audience at all whatsoever. None. Speaking of conspiracies, the gut bacteria in your gut. They are, you don't get them under control.
The Segway King.
Oh, let me just say those little
alien UFOs flying around in your gut.
If you think about it, if you look at bacteria close up, tell me they don't look like aliens. They look like aliens.
They look like aliens.
I would rather run into the little green man from Mars than I would run into one of these things full size. They're terrifying. Get them under control. Go to lovemytummy.com/mojo and find out about Atrantil. Atrantil, when I say they, Atrantil goes to work and tames the little aliens in your gut. And if you don't tame them, they will eventually take it. Actually, the way I'm saying it is a little weird, but it's true. If you don't get them under control, they can do all kinds of crazy things. They've been linking it to autism and depression and everything else. And why is it never linked to the good stuff? Well, the good stuff is Atrantil. You find that at lovemytummy.com. Get them under control today at Love of My Tummy. This is your Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. Mojo 50.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Wally Hines. President Trump, among the world leaders gathered in Portsmouth, England today. That was a key launching point for the Normandy invasion. It is the start of 2 days of ceremonies commemorating the 75th anniversary of D-Day. The president reading excerpts from a famous prayer delivered by Franklin Roosevelt on that day.
We know that by thy grace and by the righteous of our cause, our sons will triumph. Some will never return. Embrace these, Father, and receive them, the heroic servants, into thy kingdom.
The ceremonies move to Normandy tomorrow. That former Florida sheriff's deputy who failed to respond when a mass shooter opened fire inside Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School last year has been arrested on felony and misdemeanor charges. 17 students died in the massacre. Scott Peterson could get 97 years in prison. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says there isn't much appetite in the Senate for the president's plan to impose tariffs on Mexico, but Iowa's Chuck Grassley says it's too early to talk about what will happen next.
There's some disagreement even among Republicans whether a resolution of disapproval would be appropriate in this place, and right now it's speculation because the president would have to actually issue an executive order, which he hasn't done yet, before that would be even a consideration. But I think we better get a legal answer.
U.S. and Mexican trade officials are meeting in Washington today. The fate of Missouri's only abortion clinic hangs in the balance when a judge hears a request from Planned Parenthood today for a preliminary injunction to keep that clinic open. Virginia's Republican House Speaker says Governor Ralph Northam's call for a special session to take up gun control in the wake of last week's deadly shootings in Virginia Beach will only inflame feelings. News and analysis at townhall.com.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
Hi, it's Doc Thompson for Matthew 25 Ministries. Matthew 25 Ministries is one of the few charities I'll actually endorse because I know them. I've worked with them, and I know almost all of the money that you donate goes to help people. Go to m25m.org, m25m.org.
Say what you want to say about Cortez. She's not unattractive. Whoopi Goldberg, ugly as dirt. She one ugly woman. She ugly. Whoopi is jealous.
Making radio great again. The Cartel with Nat and Ron. Weekday afternoon. MoJo 50.
Rates based on a man age 42 with no tobacco use of any form for 20 years. Policy number 25. Policy underwritten by various life insurance companies. Premium includes a $50 policy fee. Rates and underwriting criteria subject to change at any time. Not available in some states. You've heard those term life insurance ads with the rates read very low, and at the end they have a long disclaimer read extremely fast. Why? Because most people like us will never qualify for those rates. It's just a way to get you to call. Listen, at the Term Lifeline, we'll never quote you a low rate hoping you'll call, then try to sell you something else. But we do promise to get you the best rates available on policies of $500,000 or more with professional service. Don't waste your valuable time. Get the real rates you want on term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more from the Term Lifeline. Call now.
866-521-TERM. 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 That's 866-521-8376.
If we weren't so bad.
To puppy rape.
I like to cuss.
Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titties.
We wouldn't be so good. MoJo 50. The mothership has landed.
And the communiques keep rolling in. DMXDM, using the hashtag what I learned today. Unidentified rotating alien-navigated unconventional spacecraft. Now that, of course, if you use just the acronym is Uranus.
I saw Uranus.
See?
In the sky.
Uranus in the sky. Big Pharma Steve says, thanks for trying to get the overnight chats. I know, I tried. I will. Hashtag kitty porn. That's Kitty, by the way. Hey, and look who's here, too.
Mike. Hey, Mike.
Mike made it in. Good
Hump
for you.
Day.
Now, I do, I want to I just want to have a little visual acuity challenge for the two of you, and I've saved this because I think that it is appropriate that the two of you take a look at these. And I just want to see, because if you think about fruit and vegetables around the world, I mean, there's a lot of things that we don't know exist out there, and I want to just see if you can identify some of these fruits and vegetables that exist just from merely a picture of them.
Okay.
And I do want to thank Megan Price for sending me these. So, I mean, if you were to see it like a picture of an eggplant, you would, eggplant.
Right.
In this case, I'm just going to flash this picture up here, and I want you to identify the fruit by name.
Got it.
Okay. I want you to identify that fruit.
Your
nipple root.
I would say that's nipple root's good. I would actually just say boob fruit.
Boob fruit.
Boob
That's,
fruit.
See, if you look at that right there.
Yeah, that's boob fruit.
Boob fruit. That is actually milk melon.
I was going to say mother's milk. That was going to be my next one. I
That
promise you.
is milk melon. There you see, and you can Google this. You get home.
The bottom one, the boobs are in the wrong place.
That looks like
yes, that does. That's either a dream or a nightmare. I can't decide.
that
which.
looks like something you'd see on DeviantArt.
Yes,
man.
it does, doesn't it?
That's a DeviantArt picture right there.
Are you on Tumblr?
No, this is actually, and at first I had to look these up, and thought, if you're listening to the podcast, I would recommend that you, when you get to wherever you are and you have a private moment, that you
where you will not be seen,
or even if you are seen, I mean, let's face it, this is just fruit. This is fruit in nature. There is nothing wrong with it. It's just out of context. People
boobs are in nature too, though.
Yes, they are, and we do have a tendency to freak out about those. But that is, I'm sorry, we were there was a communications from outer space there for a moment. But yes, there are actually, and if you go to Amazon, there is the picture on Amazon and a close up of the.
Wow, that is
milk melon.
True to life.
You don't get much closer to life than that.
Wow.
Now, I am going to show you another picture of a fruit, and I would like to get your. Just again, I want the first impression that comes to mind when you see this. I will give you a hint. This is a form of pepper.
A form of pepper. It's spicy.
Yes, this could be considered spicy. Go ahead and take this there full screen there, and
I'm going to go ahead and go with uncircumcised peppers.
Yes, these are. Mike, did you want to give a guess there as to what these are?
The puckered anus.
Really?
You see butthole?
I see butthole.
Okay.
All right.
This is a really interesting Rorschach test.
Another picture of another piece of the puzzle falls in place in the Mike puzzle. This is actually called Peter Red Chili.
Peter Red
Chili.
Dude, what's the matter, man? I got Peter Red.
And this is I will just, you know what? I'm going to tweet a picture of the Peter Red chili out there, because it is it's certainly unique in its shape, I guess you would say. Let me find it over here. It's under, what is today, Wednesday? All day long, right? Wednesday, and then the Peter Red chili is right there, and we will send that out into the IoT. So now that is out there. All right, so we've seen so far the milk melon. We have seen the Peter Red chili, also known as the Peter pepper. So next time you hear about Peter Piper picking,
that's all I'm going to say. And that's because that's what they're talking about right there.
Now you think that one is is interesting. Take a look at this one. And tell me what you see with that fruit. Oops. Hold on. There we go. That is the.
Why do I look at that and feel pain?
I don't know, but go ahead and take that one.
Why is it bleeding? That needs to get checked out. Its balls are green. It's bleeding. It's
there's an issue there. That is the.
It's not right.
Would you like to say any? And I'm not even sure I have the name of this correct, but if
I'm gonna go with let's go ahead and go with dong hanger.
Dong hanger. All right. Mike.
Nature's shaft.
Very good.
Very nice.
Very good.
It's actually the gar flower, from what I can tell.
That's a total waste.
I would say
that
so
is an
too.
Opportunity that was not taken.
No, I totally agree with you there. There's another there's another angle. This one apparently is a little less.
There's one that's not drifting off to the side a little bit.
No, this one's still drifting off. It's just drifting off in the other direction.
Oh, good Lord. That one looks even worse. That one looks like it's not. That's more of a grower, not a shower.
All right.
It's got some. It's got a ways to go before it's fully mature.
I will go with you on
I
that
actually feel like that was. We probably shouldn't be looking at that one. The FBI is gonna be banging down our door here in a minute.
You can find, by the way, this on Amazon.
You can buy these?
Yes, you can buy these.
Hang them up around your home.
Amazon, and the link is, if you prefer to go out and buy these on Amazon, the link is headed your way even as we speak. And just as a sort of a palate cleanser, it is, after all, Earworm Wednesday. I love that song. But it will stick in your head the rest of the day.
Da, da, da.
Da, da, da. By the group, quick, what's the group's name?
I have no idea.
Really?
Nope.
Mike. Anybody? Do you know?
I have no. Were they a one-hit wonder?
Yes.
Yeah, they had to have been.
They were. Well, they were a one-hit wonder in this country. I don't know if they were in their home country, but they were in this country.
What's their home country?
Russia.
Germany.
Germany.
Oh, okay.
Germany. Would you like to pet my monkey?
Duh. No, that's Russian.
I think that works.
Would you like to touch my milk fruit?
The name was Trio. The name of the band was Trio.
Trio.
And the song Da Da Da.
Da da da.
Don't love you, you don't love me. Aha, aha, aha.
That sounds like something a German song would say.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Nothing at all like the song that, of course, the gun box makes every time you open that bad boy up.
I'm sexy and I know it.
When you open up the gun box, it is and this is a bit of an earworm, ironically, too. Go to thegunbox.com and take a look at the different models. You'll find the 2.0, the Echo, you'll find the SK1, and probably most importantly, you'll find the Alert app. I don't know of any other, and there may be one out there, I don't know of any other the gun safe that will alert you if somebody messes with it. So if you're off on vacation and your gun box 2.0 is sit there stapled next to your bed because you can secure it down with bolts, and somebody messes with it, you will get a little text saying, someone's messing with your box. Someone is touching your box. They're twanging it, they're moving it, they're shaking it around, and then you can take the appropriate action. But you will know if somebody tries to mess with it, get into it. Otherwise, any other chicanery that's going on there at your home while you're out. By the way, the picture, the Peter Red chili that I tweeted, I can see it right over the top of your head now on the Twitter wall in the studio. It's just
good. That's
just remember.
That's a part of my picture.
It's just
a part of my thing now
it's
over here.
Back there behind you, just so you know.
Don't be shocked if you look behind you.
Go to thegunbox.com and use promo code MoJo50 for is that 10% discount there. That's
10%.
10%, sorry. Well, the reason I had two of them, for whatever reason, I've got two gun boxes in the shopping cart. So then when I looked at the discount, I was like, wow, that's a big discount. It is still a big discount at 10%. MoJo50 is the promo code to use, and when you do, you get 10% off. So it takes that the 2.0, for instance, $299, takes it down to $269. And it's worth every penny.
Thank you so much for doing the math, because I
know.
feel like we too often just say
10%.
it's 10% off of your purchase, but you know,
Truly, why
don't we just tell them what the price is?
Well, sometimes you just want to make them go to the website and find out for the. I don't want to do all their work for them. That makes them lazy. I'm teaching them how to fish.
Yeah.
I'm not handing them a fish.
That's okay.
I'll slap them with a fish.
You slap
I will slap them with a fish, but I will not hand them a fish. I will teach them how. Go to thegunbox.com and use promo code MoJo50. Speaking of, are you ready to go?
Let's go.
Let's do this thing.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
By the way, we looked at that big roll of toilet paper that you talked about yesterday.
Oh, did you?
It's huge.
Like how huge?
Like bigger than a bread box.
Really?
Yeah. It's, let's see, do I still have it up here?
There's something about not having to change out the toilet paper roll. Because isn't running out of even if you have more toilet paper, isn't running out of toilet paper on the roll a little depressing?
Go ahead and...
Isn't there like...
darkness,
take that,
exactly.
Right.
Is there not like a moment? Yeah. There's like a moment of panic.
Yes.
Even if you like have more, you're like, oh God, do I have more?
Right, yes. And, oh crap, now I got to get up and go get it.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got to do, that's...
exactly.
Which remind me to tell you about the Amelia Clark funny video.
Okay.
I kid you not.
Amelia Clark funny video. Okay.
Yeah, so anyway, sorry.
Like your butt. That must have a wipe. 5 headlines for you, but one of them is tripe. I don't know. That I'll workshop that one. Thank you.
2 or 3 guys think it's all right.
Thank you. 5 headlines, one of them is fake. You have to figure out which one is a lie, but don't cheat. That makes it not fun for you and everyone else around you. Utah cops may soon face discipline for sexting and masturbation on duty.
All right.
The agency that certifies and disciplines police officers is drafting new disciplinary guidelines for cops who engage in sexting and masturbating while on duty. As its quarterly meeting on Tuesday, the Utah Peace Officer Standards and Training, or POST Council, has briefed on proposed discipline on the issue, which falls under sexual misconduct. Post Executive Director Scott Stevenson said there has been issues that need to be addressed where officers have engaged in inappropriate communications with confidential informants, colleagues, and others. I don't think taxpayers would like the fact that their officers, some very few, would be taking time when they should be enforcing the laws of protecting and sending inappropriate messages, Stevenson told Fox 13.
I don't know. I mean, cops are people too.
Look. You know what the job of a cop is? Primarily, it's not all like an episode of Cops.
To find the bad guy or to sit around. It's like
it
war.
is to sit around and do paperwork most of the time. That is what a cop's duty is. If he wants to take a break for a second.
Why is it though that every time I get pulled over, I find the cop that loves paperwork? So he's just all, hey, can I get a warrant? No. I'm going to fill out all 14 forms.
Exactly. Yeah.
Actually, rarely do I ever get a ticket. So
yeah, I actually rarely get a ticket too. I think it's because I'm a white male.
I think it's because I'm a great kisser.
Oh, is that what you do?
Whatever it takes.
I just flash my patriarchy card, and I'm good to go.
Your white privilege card
my
gets you out?
My white privilege card, man. It's awesome.
Every time.
Superstition vindicated as curse of Row 13 strikes again. The world has woken up this morning to the news that the infamous curse of Row 13 has struck the aviation industry again after an Emirates Boeing 737 crashed on its approach to Dubai airport last night. Among the victims was British businessman Martin Braithwaite, 53, from Bromley, who had deliberately sat in row 13 on a stubborn stand of principle against what he called superstitious rubbish. Apparently, he and his wife had a fear of row 13.
That's because it's got the word row in it.
Exactly. And he would sit in row 13 on purpose.
Right.
Just to show his wife that there was nothing to be afraid of.
You're just testing fate then.
Ta-da.
That's kind of what he did. Every time he would get off a plane, he would tell his wife, "Told you so." For most of the 200 or so business trips he did after that, he would go and ask to sit in row 13. Afterward, this is his wife talking, then he would ring me up after he arrived and say, I survived yet again. Now, his crazy bravado has cost him his life.
Huh. Well, crazy.
Yeah.
What you gonna do about crazy? What you gonna do about it? Name
Is
the
that
song.
an earworm?
Name the song.
I have no idea.
That's right.
Frequent shootings. China warns citizens against travel to the U.S. China's Ministry of Culture and Tourism issued a travel advisory warning citizens against traveling to the United States effective December 31st. The state-run Xinhua news agency reported Tuesday.
No, the agency is Something Wong. We too low.
Noting the frequent occurrence of shootings, robberies, and theft in the United States recently, the ministry warned Chinese tourists to fully assess the risks of traveling there. The news agency said, why it matters? China issued a similar travel advisory last year, but the latest one comes amid heightened trade tensions that show no sign of abating. In a separate advisory Tuesday, China warned Chinese firms operating in the U.S. they could face harassment from American law enforcement agencies. So basically, China is saying that every place in America is Chicago.
Yeah.
It's all Chicago.
Yeah, well, you know.
More accurately, don't go to Chicago. That should be the real, yeah. But right now, China's a little salty because of the trade war, and
they're just irritated.
They're just mad. They'll get over it.
Because they're getting what's coming to them.
Except for the fact that they probably won't. It's we who are going to get what's coming to them.
There's that.
Because that's how tariffs work. Police say, don't call us with Taco Bell complaints anymore.
Well, who else are they supposed to call?
That's my question. A police department in Louisiana is reminding people that it's there to serve. Just not handle customer service complaints about Taco Bell.
Service is in their name.
The Slidell Police Department posted on Facebook Monday that someone called to complain that a local Taco Bell had run out of both hard and soft taco shells. The department says while it was a travesty, it can't do anything about it. It was a travesty.
Why not? Why can they not do anything about it?
The department hoped the Taco Bell shell stock has been replenished. The officers say, we can't make this stuff up.
But we can.
We probably did. New study shows that Slipknot will make you drive like a maniac.
Wait, what will?
Slipknot.
Oh.
The band.
Not what I thought you said.
You never heard of Slipknot?
It's not what I thought
What's
you
this
said.
music I'm hearing? Every metal fan who's ever been behind the wheel has experienced it. Your favorite song comes on the stereo, a spike of adrenaline hits you, and BAM! You're doing 150 miles an hour in a school zone. But is that really heavy metal's fault? Or is it just about listening to music that gets you amped while driving? Now, I Am Road Smart has done a new study using music from various genres to determine whether or not they affect driving ability, and yeah, it might be metal. Though in its defense, classical music may also be to blame. The study, performed by I Am Road Smart and Auto Express, put a driver in a simulator and had him first do a 2-lap control run involving various turns and gear changes, and then do the same run while listening to different songs. The track used in the experiment were Taylor Swift's Shake It Off, Bach's Goldberg Variations, Kendrick Lamar's Humble, and Slipknot's 1999 album opener. The results, according to I Am Road Smart, were as follows. Tristan, Shell Hester, test driver, was a staggering 14 seconds slower on, and his throttle movements were far more jagged while listening to metal compared to the control lap, and admitted listening to Slipknot made it harder to concentrate on the circuit layout.
I like the way you move your throttle.
Hey-oh! Shake It Off by Taylor Swift, if y'all are curious. Tristan's time when listening to the bouncy pop classic was only 2 seconds slower than his control time, and I Am Road Smart expert Tim Shallcross said that it was on his test that Tristan's laps were the smoothest in terms of speed consistency.
Uh-huh. Huh. All right.
Probably because it's got a beat. I would say
it's got a beat. You can dance to it. 120 BPMs.
BPs.
BPs.
Yep.
BPMs.
120 BPs. Those are your headlines. Which one is fake? Is it the Utah cops are in trouble for masturbating on the job? Is it Superstition finally caught up with a man who sat in row 13 too much. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? Frequent shootings. China warns citizens not to go to the U.S. because apparently the entirety of the U.S. is Chicago. Police say stop calling us about Taco Bell complaints. Or is it Slipknot will make you drive like an idiot? Which one is fake? But first, Brad Staggs.
Yeah, by the way, just real quickly, it was Smacking Duck voted for the triskaidekaphobia story, so he thinks it's the tacos that are fake.
Tacos?
Yeah.
Tacos are fake?
Yeah, that's what triskaidekaphobia is.
Triskaidekaphobia?
Yeah, it's fear of tacos.
That's a horrible fear to have.
Right, I know, right? Horrible, horrible. You know what's horrible is when you run out of APR coffee.
I hate that. I hate it so much, Brad.
Imagine getting up one morning and you stumble to the kitchen and you go to pour the coffee in the coffee maker and you...
This is like a horror story.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I can think of very few things that would be worse than finding that you have run out of APR coffee. So I would recommend the next time you go to APR that you just, instead of ordering just one bag, besides it's kind of like Doritos, who could eat just one? I mean, just order two.
I feel like we got Cheez-Its.
Just double your, or cheese balls.
I don't like cheese balls.
Who can eat just one cheese ball? Go to American Pride Roasters, double up your... There's plenty of room in there. You can get more in there. And I'm talking about the cupboard for your APR coffee. Go to American Pride Roasters and double your order. It's Double Your Order Wednesday because it's Wednesday and it's time to double your order. AmericanPrideRoasters.com, by the way, it is the Brandon Morse Monkey Code Bread Blend. Ha!
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
I like that.
AmericanPrideRoasters.com. All right, Mike.
Which one's fake, buddy?
I'm going to have to say it's the Taco Bell one as well.
Taco Bell?
I mean, I've wanted to call the police drunk at 2 o'clock in the morning when they wouldn't serve me, but I mean...
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, no, there's nothing more infuriating than going up to a Taco Bell or like a Taco Cabana. Because Taco Cabana, I will eat Taco Cabana before Taco Bell every
All day, every
Yeah,
day.
exactly. And I'll pull up, and one time they said to me, it was like I was half drunk. It was like midnight 30. I'll pull up, and they're like, "We're sorry, sir. The registers are down."
You're going down.
And I basically called him a liar. I was like, "No, that's not true. You guys you're lazy."
Right.
I was mad, dude. I was actually mad.
Now, unlike Smacking Duck and his triskaidekaphobia with the tacos thing that Mike's going with, I'm going with the row 13.
You're going with row 13?
Row 13.
Okay.
You ready?
Hit it. Brad, you actually won! Ha! Up top, buddy!
Oh, yeah!
Good job.
Brad did it!
It's about time.
Man, it's been forever.
It is about time.
It has been
kill
forever.
that music. Kill the headline music because we got something else. Because this when I heard you talking about,
it's like rain.
Was it
on a wedding day?
No, see that? No, this was.
It's a free ride.
His name was Rico. He wore a diamond. He was escorted to his chair. He saw Lola dancing there, and when she finished,
Hey,
he called her over. But Rico.
there's your earworm. Copacabana. What were you saying about Copacabana? It made me think of that. You said something about Copa and Cabana, something. What was it that made me think about that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, they say the memory is the first thing to go.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the second thing is.
Sorry, buddy.
Damn it. It's your Daily Mojo.
A free exchange of ideas. Mojo 50.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. That's 800-570-6630. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Hi, this is Lee Colan with your Leadership Matters Minute. You know, the nature of a plan is that it is actually written down. Writing down your 100-day goals creates tremendous power. Your goals will help clarify what you're trying to accomplish. Here are some questions to ask yourself to create a solid 100-day plan. Number 1, what do I want to accomplish in the next 100 days? Number 2, why do I want to accomplish it? That's a critical question because it gets to your motivation. Number 3, how will my life be different? Think about how it'll look, feel, sound, what you'll be able to do. And number 4, which activities do I need to do every day to hit my goal? That's critical because these get to your daily disciplines. We have found that rarely someone hits their 100-day goal and they don't hit their goals the rest of the year, because when you hit those goals, you build momentum and confidence. And the bottom line is that competence in your goals, achieving them, results in confidence. I'm Lee Colan, and this is your Leadership Matters Minute. For more tips and tools, text the word leadership to 444-999.
I got my
MoJo 50.
I got my mojo working out.
Live free.
I got my mojo working. I got my mojo working out. But it just won't work on you. I got my mojo working. But I just don't know what to do, y'all.
The Daily Mojo.
All right, I promised I'd get to it, the MeWe chat room. Big Farmer Steve, I'd like to get Brandon on a podcast. I'm occasionally on. It's about gaming and tech mostly, but we throw in a lot of random stuff too, especially when I sit in on an episode.
Okay.
They want you.
They want me so hard.
I don't think you have to wear pants either.
Is this a podcast that I can just do from my office?
You can.
And then I just sit and talk about video games?
I think so.
That's all I have to do?
Mm-hmm.
That's impolite. You should go see them.
I think so too.
I should fly in.
Funny story. My wife, that's also from Big Pharma Steve. No wonder he wanted me to do look at the MeWe chat overnight. My wife just had to have a cat. Gotta have one. So, like a good husband, we got a cat. He adopts me. Well, now we've got to get cat number 2 so that she'll have one that will love her. Turns out it wants nothing to do with her, and I'm stuck in a small house allergic to both cats. Yeah, they were talking about kitty porn in the sick people.
If there's one thing
Kitty.
I'm so allergic to cats.
Are you really?
I am beyond allergic to cats, yeah. Like, you bring one around me, within 60 seconds, I'm dying. It's like kryptonite for me.
Cats. Well, I like dogs too, but again, cats are for those of us who have a fear of commitment.
Yeah?
Yeah. You don't ever have to commit to a cat. And cats never commit to you. It's a perfect relationship.
I understand that. There are benefits to that, trust me. But at the same time, I feel like I get more use out of a dog. Oh, come on, Brad.
What?
That's horrible.
I was talking about her cat, you people. Remember that one? The Steve Martin bit?
No.
Oh. He's talking about her.
Anyway, although I do love Steve Martin.
I do love Steve Martin as well.
That said, a dog fetches. A dog, likes to cuddle.
A cat will fetch.
A cat might fetch.
A dog might fetch. I've had dogs that wouldn't fetch too.
A dag is more likely. A dog is more likely to fetch. My dog fetches incessantly.
Okay. I'm just gonna leave that there. Somebody else said an earworm. I don't even know what this is though. I don't know, it sounds like I'm playing on my phone.
I don't know what it is, but
it's
I'm into it.
The Pizzicato 5 made in the USA from I think
5?
Yeah, from Twiggy. I don't know.
From Twiggy.
Another good one that is over on the YouTube.
Bangkok, Oriental setting in the city, don't know what the city is getting. The creme de la creme.
Classic.
I know.
Wow.
That one will stick in your ear all day long.
Oh no, I've got one for you.
All right.
I've got one for you. Go ahead and talk amongst yourselves while I pull it up.
Well, the other thing that that they were talking about in the overnight chat room is finally Big League Streaking is back.
Big League Streaking?
Yes. Kinsey Wolanski on Instagram. She is a streaker. And unlike our earlier story about the woman who was tossed out of Golden Corral on her ear because she was wearing a crop top that was apparently just a little too revealing, take a look at old Kinsey. And, I would hate to see this woman running naked across a baseball field. I would be disgusted beyond belief.
Oh, my word.
That is just awful.
That is...
Yeah. You want to talk about... That is just disgusting.
Why would you show that?
I don't know. It's awful, and I apologize to the audience. And if I ever see Kinsey Wolanski streaking across the field,
I'm going to give her a piece of my mind.
Yes. She's an X-rated prankster who She says she pulled off her biggest stunt so far by streaking during the Champions League final, announcing on her return to social media on Wednesday morning, that was last week, with a cheeky photograph of her straddling a lion statue in Madrid, which hosted the match.
So her entire MO is just to go around and be controversial while naked.
Disgusting.
I'm sick and tired of people. You know what that makes me want to do, Brad?
What does that make you want to do, Brandon?
It makes me want to play this song. Hang on.
Istanbul is Constantinople now. It's Istanbul is Constantinople now. Long time ago, Constantinople now. Turkish delight.
Who was that? The Five Freshmen or something? Who did that?
They might be Giants.
So that's a remake, obviously, of an old song.
Yeah.
But who was it that did the original?
That's a good question. Actually, I don't know. Is it
Constantinople? Damn it, that is an earworm.
Yep. I got you good.
It sounded like Putting on the Ritz to me.
Putting on the Ritz.
That was Taco.
I know. Dun, 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 dun,
You've never heard
dun,
Constantinople?
No, I had not heard of it.
Really? You haven't? Even old New York was once New Amsterdam.
Every gal in Constantinople lives in Istanbul, not Constantinople. So you a day in Constantinople.
Putting on the Ritz.
Yeah, you're right. It is kind of putting on the Ritz.
Old New York was once New Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Why they changed it, I can't say. People just liked it better that way.
Mike is in here singing it.
That's a good one. Oh, that's a really good one. Damn it. Well, you know how you get that out of your earbuds is you talk about birth rape.
And that's it for me, folks.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow, maybe? I don't know.
Birth rape apparently affects millions of mothers. Doctors are performing invasive procedures without their consent. I had no idea this was a thing.
Okay, so hang on. Repeat that. It's
birth rape.
Birth rape.
Birth rape.
Where doctors perform.
Well, okay, let's...
their job.
Exactly. Yes. That's pretty much...
This is this is Jody Gibbons. This is her account. She says, this is from one of those English newspapers, by the way.
Oh, one of those.
I was halfway through a contraction in the labor ward. The pain was horrendous. She remembers, I begged the doctor to stop doing my vaginal exam, but he just ignored me. So I asked again and even kicked at him to stop, but he wouldn't. In fact, it was only when Jody's husband and two midwives in the room intervened that the consultant finally desisted. One midwife pushed him away from me. I was so shocked, felt completely violated, as if I had no right over what was happening to my body or my baby. While some experts may argue that such examinations are to be expected in the fast-paced atmosphere of a maternity ward, a growing number of people claim it falls under the umbrella of obstetric violence, where patients are subjected to painful gynecological procedures and invasive treatment without consent during pregnancy and childbirth.
Okay, during childbirth, you said?
During childbirth.
So during childbirth, the doctor comes in and does what's necessary to deliver the child, and they're saying that this is rape now.
Yes. Well, it was the term first used legally in Venezuela. It was brought into
of course it came from Venezuela
in 2007 to protect women giving birth. Within 2 years, Argentina followed suit. Mexico in 2014. They say that there is no such law yet in the UK or the US. According to Camilla Pickles at Oxford University, who's been researching obstetric violence for the past 6 years, we're in desperate need of similar legislation.
No. I'm sorry. The doctor is doing his job, what he has to do.
No, not being a woman. I have no idea. And I honestly, if men had to undergo the same stuff that women had to undergo, you could kiss the human race goodbye. We would be done.
So wait, let me. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding this correctly because this sounds. A medical procedure is being performed at a time when it is vital and necessary to have it done. Yes. And they're saying that because the doctor did it, and it was slightly painful while it was happening or something like that, that it's rape?
Where does it constitute rape?
Yeah, that's my question. Did you not come to the hospital to have this procedure performed, more or less?
I guess what they're saying is that during the birth, and again, I cannot even begin. It's like if you gave a guy a basketball, said, here, swallow this, and then, oh, by the way, push it out some hole in your body. That's yeah. We'd be going, no, bye-bye human race. We'd be done. But it's Amy Gibbs is chief executive of the women's rights charity called Birthrights. I have no reason to believe this is not a real story.
I have every reason to believe it's a real story.
I just said it to you.
The thing that I'm confused about is
they feel like they've experienced disrespectful or abusive care, yet because it's not formally recognized in the UK, there's very little available data to give us an idea of the scale of the problem. For Amy, respectful and safe care is the only way to end obstetric violence. The sooner it's realized, the safer women will be.
Okay, I was halfway through a contraction in the labor ward, and the pain was horrendous, she remembers. I begged the doctor to stop doing my vaginal exam, but he just ignored me, so I asked again. Then again, and even kicked at him to stop, but he wouldn't. In fact, it was only when Jody's husband, James, 28, and the two midwives in the room intervened that the consultant finally desisted.
Yeah, I just read that part.
Yeah. I'm just trying to make this.
If you scroll down, there's an interesting one toward the end of this, and it recalls a procedure. Hold on a second. It is down here. Talk amongst yourselves for just a second.
It's not formally recognized in the UK. There's little data available to give us an idea of the scale of the problem. It's probably not formally recognized because it's not an actual problem.
Well, I can see where there would be
assault.
I can see where
malpractice.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume. I mean, not every doctor out there is legit. I mean, is above board. I mean, we've seen it happen in dentist offices, weird places to happen. But so I can see that this might be I've never even. I mean, I was there when actually both my kids were born, and it was to say that it makes you look at things in a different light is putting it mildly. It's the most amazing thing. And again, doctors see this all the time. So again, as a guy, I don't know what makes you go into obstetrics or gynecology.
So my two previous births had been faultless. The third time I was induced in hospital at just over 40 weeks with James by my side. My two midwives were great, and every time they needed to do a vaginal exam, they asked first. After Jody had been in labor for 5 hours, a consultant came into the room, but his behavior left her, James, and the midwives feeling uncomfortable. From completely ignoring me to falling asleep in a chair and then chatting on his phone, none of us really knew what to make of it, says Jody from Somerset. James and I were unnerved, but I practiced hypnobirthing, so concentrated on my breathing. Following a vaginal exam by her midwife, who said Jody was 5 centimeters dilated, the consultant insisted on doing another one. The midwife explained that we'd wait for the contraction to pass, and then I'd give my consent for the examination. If it got too painful, they'd stop. However, according to Jody, he didn't. Within seconds, I was in agony and told him to stop, but he continued with such force that he literally pushing me off the bed. Okay, so what we have here then, it sounds to me, is basically an incompetent doctor or just an a-hole, all right? But that's not rape.
That's not rape.
That's not rape, and we need to be very. The reason I'm really like not cool with this terminology that they're trying to throw at us is the fact that
because it's not rape.
It's not rape, but let's look at it this way. Let's say that you're a doctor or a nurse or anything like that, and you're trying to do an examination. You're doing everything that you need to do in order to complete the birth or whatever like that. And suddenly you do something that the woman finds uncomfortable, and she can suddenly say, "Oh, I was raped by your staff," and suddenly it's lawsuits galore.
Right.
This is opening the door to some seriously stupid and malicious nonsense.
It seems like more of the hashtag, the Pound Me Too generation movement.
They even mentioned the Me Too movement in this.
Yeah.
And so this is absolutely ridiculous. This is dangerous.
Hot Rocky with an I. WTF is obstetric violence. The doctor is supposed to check down there to make sure that there aren't any issues in the birthing process. It's not a thing. I would tend to agree. Now, I would prefer to hear from the women because, again, as a guy, we have absolutely no idea what it's like to pass that bowling ball.
Yeah, but has women ever been kicked in the balls?
No, but from what I understand, though, it's the same. If you kick them in that area, that's kind of the same thing. So I wouldn't know. Calling a routine, this is just peachy. Calling a routine procedure birth rape is equivalent to calling Wednesday's Daily Mojo ear rape. Hey, Mojo 50 HR, I'd like to file a complaint.
I would say that, look, I understand like this woman's specific case that this guy was being a complete a-hole, and apparently even the midwives were shocked, and like, you know, he was doing things that were rougher than they should have been, maybe. And I don't know. I wasn't there. But at the same time, yeah, this does not remotely constitute as rape.
Now, I will say
not even remotely.
During that process, I can see as a woman being overly emotional.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps she's misremembering it.
Possibly.
And again, by the way, she was talking about it beforehand. I mean, like, it was clear that she didn't like the guy, that she thought that he was incompetent, that he was falling asleep in the chair, and then he was talking on his phone.
Right.
While I was in contractions.
Maybe he was an a-hole. I mean, this again.
Maybe he was. Maybe he actually wasn't. Like, maybe she's really overselling the behavior of the guy. Maybe this woman's a total Karen. I don't know. But
possibly.
I will say this, you know, the bottom line here is the story that she's telling, and is the justification for her trying to label this as rape. even in these in the worst circumstances that she is describing to us right now, it's still not rape. We need to really get a hold of what constitutes rape, because I feel like that word is being thrown around so much. Not long ago, they tried this not long ago with words. They were like, "I was raped by words." Do you remember that?
That's impossible. No, I don't.
Okay, so yeah, no. It was like a social justice feminist nonsense video where this woman, like, she's sitting in front of a camera and she's like, "I'm raped every day by words, by looks." When my father says mean things, he rapes my mother. I'm like, you need to stop right now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not rape. That's not rape.
And rape is such a sensitive term. Why are we throwing it around so easily now?
And
like that's the
problem. My guess is the fact that, again, like in the social justice universe that we now inhabit, victimization is currency.
Yes.
And so, like, being able to say I was raped is basically you saying I am someone who needs to be paid attention to, who has authority, who you know, has some knowledge on something, and that's why everyone should consider me somebody important.
You need to stop raping me with your opinion.
I'm opinion raping right now. That's what I'm doing.
Attack hole Yuki, hashtag what I learned today. When I was in labor with my third boy, a team of doctors came in and laid my bed down, reached into my hoo-ha, both hands, stuck wire and all, and I'm screaming during the whole time. Turns out my son's heart rate had dropped to 0 again, and they didn't have time to explain. So you're right. The doctor, I mean, you can either have the doctor stop and explain why he's doing what he's doing, or just do it.
Yeah.
And do his job.
Let me look, your kid's dying, but let me go ahead and show you this diagram here of what's happening. So he doesn't have a heartbeat and he is currently passing away. But if you'll notice here in this diagram, we have a picture of your vaginal canal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to gently...
Baby's dead.
Yeah.
Baby's dead.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck next time.
The pickled squirrel. My doctor was so cool. She let my husband scrub in and observe the C-section. I had a nice conversation with the anesthesiologist until our daughter was born. You know, the C-section is, I've seen one of those too. That is the closest thing to a mass murder I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's freaking crazy to watch. I've watched the videos because, once again, I don't know why I like to see morbid crap like that. But, like, yeah, the C-section, man, because it's not just like cutting into...
It is.
I asked my doctor, because I got to go in for the C-section, and I said, because, you know, they put that big...
You should probably clarify that your wife's C-section, not yours.
That's right.
Yeah.
For ours.
Yeah.
Okay. But, they put that big block in front of the woman's face so she can't see.
Yes. Right.
And I asked the anesthesiologist who was standing, I said, can I stand up and look? And he says, are you okay doing that? He said, I'm not sure you know what you're going to see. And I said, oh, I don't care. I stood up. That was the oddest. It's like they had her organs laid out on her chest.
Yeah.
It is just,
I'm like, that's what a liver looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But me, I don't know why, but I am just fascinated.
If you're, I can watch it on video. Watching it in person is a completely different experience.
That
and
is
it
true.
Freaky.
It's like one thing to watch somebody to try like be resuscitated.
Yes.
In TV, but in real life, it's a whole different story.
Oh yeah, it was. But talking to Izzo when he was in here, and when he first started out as a cop, and walking up to a some crime scene where I think the kids, like literally, the kid's head was open, the brain was gone.
Yeah.
And he says, I walked in and I thought I could, and he said my legs started getting a little numb. He says it's just weird. He says you get used to it.
Yeah.
But initially, it's like, woof.
My dad said so because he was a cop. And he told me a similar story. Actually, it was he had gotten used to it,
right?
And he said the moment that he knew that he had basically gotten so numb to it was he was in a morgue, and apparently somebody had gotten mangled up real bad, and they were on the table in front of him, and he was just sitting there writing up the report about what happened, and he got hungry. And so he pulled out a Snickers bar from his shirt, and he's just sitting there eating a Snickers bar while this mangled dead body was in front of him. He's writing a report, and he stopped, and he goes, shit. It didn't bother him anymore at that point. And I understand. I mean, like there comes a desensitization. You need to be desensitized, in that kind of profession.
The other side of this coin, Brock Turner, a former Stanford swimmer who was convicted of sexual assault back in 2016, served only 3 months in prison, lost his appeal. This, I think, is last Wednesday. He will have to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life. Last month, Turner's lawyer argued that he pursued outer course, not intercourse, with his victim. But a 3-judge panel at San Jose's 6th District Court of Appeals upheld the original conviction. Neither the evidence nor common sense supports the defendant's contention that dry humping is mutually exclusive to actual intercourse.
I'm just, okay. First off, don't rub your junk on other people. That's not nice.
But is that, and I'm not sure. In 2015, 2 students came upon the Turner sexually assaulting. That's a bell, and they're kind of uncomfortable with that one. Unconscious woman by a dumpster outside of a fraternity party at Stanford. The following year, he was convicted of sexual assault with the intent to commit rape, sexual penetration of an intoxicated person, and sexual penetration of an unconscious person. Now, he was sentenced to only 6 months in jail. He ended up serving 3 months. The defendant contends evidence that he was fully clothed and engaged in forms of sexual conduct other than intercourse, namely fingering, dry humping, negate an inference of an intent to rape. Now, is that rape?
Yes.
Yes, that is rape.
There you go.
There's your definition.
Yep, there it is.
Jurors, while it is true the defendant did not expose himself, he was interrupted. Jurors reasonably could have inferred from the evidence described above that if the graduate students had not stopped defendant, he would have exposed himself and raped the victim.
Mm-hmm.
But in that sentence right there, is that not an argument that he didn't rape the victim if he had, in their ruling,
they said intent to rape. That's what he was like. There was an intention to rape.
If the graduate students had not stopped the defendant, he would have exposed himself and raped the victim. Turner's case received national attention because of his short sentence, his father's insistence that his punishment was a steep price to pay for 20 minutes of action, and the media's insistence on highlighting his swimming prowess in the opening paragraph of every story about him, not the fact that he was convicted of intending to rape someone.
Well, in media-wise, as a writer, I can tell you that basically painting someone first as a human typically makes it more tragic, more atrocious.
The headline there, the headline and and this is, remember they did this with Trayvon Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Every picture of Trayvon Martin was the 12-year-old smiling kid, selling cookies door to door.
Yeah.
And this is the from the Washington Post, the headline and the picture of a smiling young man, looks like an All-American. And in fact, the headline, All-American swimmer found guilty of sexually assaulting unconscious woman on Stanford campus.
Yeah.
But it is fascinating what you can do simply by setting up the right verbiage.
Yeah.
This woman apparently was found breathing unresponsive with her underwear 6 inches away from her bare stomach, curled in a fetal position.
Had he raped her, he would have gotten a lot longer.
Okay, but here's the thing: what you just said. Was he was he convicted of rape or was he convicted of
intent to rape?
I think it was intent to rape.
I think it was intent. Because you cannot be convicted for a crime you did not commit
if the crime wasn't committed.
Right.
Here we go with the Trump stuff.
I was gonna say, interesting lead in to our no. It was intent to.
Yeah. So you can't. If he didn't do it, you can't convict. That's just how the justice system works.
Right.
But I would say that intent to rape is pretty decent a way to punish somebody. Like that should deserve a decent amount of time.
He's a sex offender for life now. He's got the punishment. But there's a lot of women out there that were like, he should have been in jail for 15 years, 20 years.
Right.
He technically did not rape her. He would have.
Mm-hmm.
But they caught him before, so this is how long he gets.
Exactly. So
when you say he would have, how do you know he would have?
That's just pretty much.
That's where the punishment ends.
Either did he confess to actually saying that he was going to rape her?
I doubt it. I did not see that in the story.
Was he doing the necessary things to make sure that she was raped?
No, and it even said he hadn't exposed himself.
He had not. But he had exposed her. Because her underwear were away from
6 feet
stomach.
away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I think that he was, definitely preparing. He was preparing her first.
Right.
Before he prepared himself.
And he got caught.
Huh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here's a question I'll pose to you guys and the Jackholes. There has been, over the past decade or so, a rash of accusations about rape.
Yeah.
And do you think... And for a long time, because we have the whole believe women thing going on, yada yada yada. For the longest time, there was almost no question about it. If you were accused of rape, chances are you were going away.
Right? Yeah. Believe women.
Lately, that has been stopping. Thank God, and they have been turning around and punishing the girl who makes the false rape accusation. As they should. Do you think it's fair to give the woman the same amount of time that the man would get if he was found guilty of rape?
100%.
You think it's good? What do you think, Brad?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. If she is found guilty of false allegations, false accusations, absolutely.
You think?
Why not?
Okay.
That's the only way you're going to dissuade someone from doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no. It's the hand being cut off for stealing thing.
Yeah. I used to think. I'm going to tell you guys this, and I might be the unpopular opinion here. I used to think that the punishment that the guy would have received should then go to the girl who made the false rape accusation.
But you don't.
I don't know now. Because I feel like what's usually the punishment for rape? About
15 years?
to 20.
Yeah.
15 to 20.
Yeah.
15 to 20 years seems like overkill for something that would really teach them a lesson in maybe 5. Because here's the thing, 15 to 20 years is a lot.
Average convicted rapist, 9.8 years.
9.8?
10 actual
years.
time
10 years?
spent in prison, 5.4.
Okay. So, all right. My whole entire thing is I understand that the prison system does not do much to actually help anyone who is in for that long.
Once you're in
institutionalized.
There, exactly. So this person comes out, they have no prospects whatsoever. They pretty much become a burden to the state or anyone that she knows.
3 hots in a cot.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe it's a little bit like way too much. I mean, even 5 years for me. Given I feel like we over institution or throw people in prison for way too long than we should already.
In a lot of cases.
In a lot of cases. Like, for instance, nonviolent drug offenses.
Oh, yeah.
Why are we giving them a minimum mandatory of 5 years? That's
Don't
ridiculous.
have any idea. That's a really good question. It's another one of the world's problems we'll have to solve. We've already solved several of them. That's why they call it the Daily MoJo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Wally Hines. The world has begun marking the 75th anniversary of D-Day.
They will need thy blessings, for the enemy is strong. He may hurl back our forces, but we shall return again and again.
President Trump reading excerpts from a famous D-Day speech by Franklin Roosevelt.
Among the things President Trump will see on the southern coast of England with other world leaders is testimony from some of the more than 300 World War II veterans and what's being billed as one of the greatest British military spectacles in recent years, featuring a flyby of 24 vintage and modern military aircraft. Today's event begins 2 days of D-Day anniversary observances, which are intended to be a tribute to the soldiers who shaped history during the dangerous mission to reach beachheads and fight in German-occupied France. I'm Matt Small.
The Trump administration is expected to appear in court today to defend itself against claims that the inclusion of a citizenship question on the 2020 census was a secret attempt to suppress the minority vote and help Republicans. U.S. and Mexican officials meeting in Washington today to talk tariffs and immigration.
Mexican officials are here in Washington to meet with their Trump administration counterparts about avoiding tariffs that President Trump expects to levy next week.
Secretary Pompeo is going to be at the meeting, along with a few others that are very good at this, and we are going to see if we can do something, but I think it's more likely that the tariffs go on.
Mr. Trump is threatening to impose a 5% tariff on Mexican imports next week unless the country does more to stem illegal migration. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Sephora will be closing its stores for an hour so that all 16,000 employees can undergo what they're calling inclusion workshops. The move comes just over a month after a black entertainer said that she had security called on her while shopping at a Sephora in California. News and analysis at townhall.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
Having an extra supply of food on hand is just smart. Some people call it prepping. I call it smart. You never know what's going to happen in this world. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. You'll find out a lot of good reasons to have that food and some great prices. mypatriotsupply.com.
Going from A to B may involve X, Y, and Z. Off Track with Whiskey 6, Sundays from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern from MoJo 50.
Got an old car? You can donate it, whether it's running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation and save a life. They'll even come and pick it up for free. The United Breast Cancer Foundation has saved hundreds of women's lives through their free or low-cost breast screen exams. But now they need your help. The United Breast Cancer Foundation wants to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And donating your old car, SUV, or truck, whether it's running or not, helps pay for them. Plus, you get a charitable tax deduction. Help the United Breast Cancer Foundation save lives by donating your old car, SUV, or truck. Call now for free pickup. 800-245-0823. 800-245-0823. 800-245-0823. Call right now. That number again is 800-245-0823.
This is the MoJo 50 Institute for the Advanced Application of Freedom. Ya bitches. The mothership has landed.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
I feel, because this has opened up a can of worms in terms of audience opinion, and I'm happy about that. Attack Hole Yuki says she should get a 6 month to 2 years prison sentence, which I like that idea. 6 months to 2 years. Perfect. However, she should get raped in fines and restitution for abuse of the legal system, time spent investigating a hoax, and pain and suffering of the man. I think, Brad, you kind of actually inspired this in a previous conversation we've had like this about punishments. I think that in the event of a lie like that, trying to abuse the legal system about rape, they should be forced, not only on top of the jail time that they would face, to go and dedicate time to working at a rape crisis center where they would actually experience what victims and actually hear the stories and stuff like that.
Like the guy who gave the homeless guy the Oreos with toothpaste in them.
Right, exactly. You know, he should go and spend time working at a homeless shelter to help benefit the homeless. The liar should go and work at a rape crisis center and listen and help them, you know, and be forced
real
to
victims.
Exactly. And I feel like that would give them a serious dose of reality.
Yeah, because like you said, Mike, it cheapens the word rape.
Exactly.
When you use it, any word, it cheapens when you use it over and over and over and over and over.
True. Just Peachy said false rape accusations she's actually on the maximum punishment side. False rape accusations irreversibly damage the accused's life. True. And cast doubt upon honest accusers' stories. 15 years in prison is acceptable. The punishment needs to be so excessive that it's an effective deterrent. I agree with everything you say except for the 15 years part. The thing that really kind of drives me away from like really throwing people into prison for years is they become essentially wards of the state. They don't know what to do when they get out after that long. They have no prospects. Their ability to be an independent civilian at that point in time is next to gone.
Yeah, how can they contribute to society coming out? Because there is no correction that's going on.
Exactly. And let's also point to the fact that stuff like this has been happening a lot when it comes to other things, you know, like drug abuse and crime. To various crimes. They'll throw people in jail for like 10 years.
Yeah.
But it has never deterred anybody else from committing these crimes.
Doesn't seem to. Certainly doesn't seem to.
I'm sure there are people out there who are like, oh, I don't want to go to prison. Yeah, that would suck. But
on
it
average,
still happens a lot. And so
on the whole,
throwing somebody in prison for a very long time isn't necessarily going to stop it from happening. It's still going to happen. No. And now on top of that, you have a person who is essentially useless to society, more or less.
And the drug offenses, especially the pot offenses, good grief.
Yeah.
Why are we putting people in prison for that? Now, if they commit an offense and they have a gun and they kill somebody, you know, that's different.
That's different. I would say
good grief. I mean,
if you're a murdering rapist,
yes,
you're done. You're done. Period. Like there's nothing really much you can do about that, save for like a miraculous turn to Christ and years worth of therapy to break you out of whatever. Nonsense you've got going, if it's something that you know you can be broken out of, because a lot of times these major crimes are committed by people who weren't all there in the first place.
Yeah, they are not what we would like to think of as the pillars of society.
Yeah, you know, there's something wrong, and so I would say that I would like a lot more study into that to make sure that we're not just, because like the last thing I really want to do, y'all, is throw someone away or throw someone in a box and throw away the key. You know, I don't want to get into the habit of that. I think that people need help. I do.
Can't get back in the box.
With that opinion, then, what do you think of lethal injection?
I am 100% against it.
Death penalty in general?
Yep. It's more expensive, first off, to the state. Believe it or not. It's more expensive than just keeping someone around.
So a Ted Bundy, you would not have...
Nope.
Wouldn't have fried him up on the grill, huh?
No.
Okay.
No. And also on a moral stance, I do not think it's my business to, at least in the, because like one thing the Bible actually, and I'm basing this off my Christian attitudes, one thing the Bible says when it comes to revenge is not to seek it. And I feel like
vengeance is mine, saith the Lord.
Yeah. The death penalty is more or less, when you really break it down, revenge. That's what it is. And so I think that.
Is it revenge or justice?
It's revenge.
Is it not an eye for an eye?
But we're not supposed to do that anymore.
Oh,
saith the Lord. I think that that if you, if the death penalty is not necessarily going to solve anything, I feel like. I think that if you're going to really punish somebody for a crime, then taking their freedom away from them is a great punishment.
In modern day, it's become a bit of a joke because you end up on death row for months, if not years.
Exactly.
And the appeal process, which again, if I'm on death row, bring on the appeals. Come on, keep bringing them on. In the, and I don't know if because a lot of the old West notions that we have aren't true, but when there was justice, you got convicted, you're going to die. Game of Thrones. You're going to be beheaded. They took you out right then. Shoop,
yep, exactly.
You're done. That might have been more of a deterrent because, oh crap, that's happening next week. If I,
if there was no such thing as an appeals process and stuff like that, then But I understand the point of an appeals process because the last thing we want to do as a society is start killing off people who actually might not have deserved it.
And the older you get, the more you have that viewpoint. It is weird.
But I will say this, because there is a difference, and because I get this all the time. It's like, oh, you don't believe in the death penalty, so you just turn the other cheek? Are you okay with people killing people? No. Let's say that you are in your home and somebody breaks in with the intent to rape or kill, or even just to steal. I don't know. You don't know that what they're doing at the time, why they just broke into your home. As far as you know, always assume, as far as I'm concerned, if someone has broken into your home, that they're there to do the worst.
Right.
Kill them. Shoot them.
So you wouldn't have a problem if somebody broke in?
No, in the moment,
self-defense.
In the moment, it is self-defense. You don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I mean, if it's up to you you can handle it how you want to. If you want to say like, "Hey, who are you? Get out," or whatever, that's fine. But for me, I don't know if they have a gun. I don't know what they have.
No, you don't know what their intent.
I don't know. I don't know what their intent is. I don't know how experienced they are. Dangerous. I would much rather basically flick on a light, see who they are, who my target is, and fire. That's That's kind of
Or if you keep a night scope next to your bed, you have to turn on the light.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you wear the night glasses to bed, then whenever you wake up, you can see instantly you got the advantage over them, and it just boom, like the dude in Silence of the Lambs.
That's right. And if you are also wearing tactical gear to bed, if they shoot at you, you immediately have protection.
See? You just
was she a great big fat person?
Don't go to bed unprepared. By the way, it was the
Istanbul was Constantinople. Now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. Been a long time gone. Old Constantinople still is Turkish delight.
That was the original. Was the Four Lads.
The Four Lads.
The Four
I like
Lads.
the We Might Be Giants version.
I do too. It's hipper. It's newer.
It's faster.
But I will see your Constantinople and raise you. You don't even need to hear the lyrics to it.
No.
You already got them.
Yep. I'm good. Bop, bop.
That's all you get.
That's all I need.
That's all you get.
That's all I need, buddy.
Anything in particular you wanted to rant away on this morning?
Man, I spent yesterday being a rantosaurus. I got to tell you.
I don't.
There's a ton of stuff right now that is.
We can rant about Apple stuff if you want.
I actually, man, I went on a few rants yesterday, and once again, I'll let you guys choose because sometimes I'm set to just pretty much talk about whatever. So there were three articles in particular that I wrote yesterday. It's up at redstate.com. You can go check it out right now if you want. There's a PBS documentary that features a clip of a woman, a red-haired woman.
Yes.
And
Kissed by fire.
She's wearing blue dress. She's pretty attractive.
Monica Lewinsky?
That's right. But it's an abortion documentary.
Well,
this woman is pregnant with twins.
Well.
And she walks into an abortion clinic and basically on screen takes a pill that would kill her children. Like you see her do it, and it's pretty shocking to watch. And then on top of that, she gives this really morbid justification for why she did it. And I'm not shocked often,
right?
But this gave me the chills listening to it.
It was like taking a cyanide pill that kills somebody else,
pretty much. And I was like, she just did it so flippantly. I was like there was no ceremony to it. There was no like second guess. She didn't look at the pill. She wasn't like, no, she just took it. And I was like,
How pregnant was she?
I don't know. Does it matter?
No, I'm just saying, was she standing there? Was it, obviously, was she 9 months in and or could you just look at a woman taking a pill?
It was like,
because I think that there is a definite, not a difference, but a visual difference, obviously, if you see a woman who's standing there just
with a very fat stomach. I understand that. But I mean, like, that to me did not matter. The fact she knew she was pregnant with twins, it was confirmed. There were 2 children inside of her, and she just took a pill, like,
so we're talking several weeks along, because you can't tell if
you can't tell immediately, right? Like, there was definitely babies inside of her. The other thing that we can talk about is if y'all want to talk about something a little more lighthearted than that, Star Wars. Did you hear the latest Admiral Akbar actor and his reveal about how he felt? About Admiral Akbar just being so nonchalantly killed off.
Hold on, do we go along with abortion or Star Wars? Hang on a second.
I did hate how they killed him off.
I do. I seriously, I am so. I got so mad about it.
It was so quick.
Yeah,
it's like
I was just like
a legend.
What? He was just like that. He's gone.
Hold on
Ryan Johnson is an ass.
Why is this just now coming out about people being pissed off about Akbar? Because he died in the last movie, right?
Yeah, he died in the last movie, but like someone was interviewing him on their podcast, and
so he's upset about it,
right? And he is apparently very upset. The other one, the third one that we can talk about is the deputy who stood by and did nothing while the Parkland shooting happened, got arrested.
Well, you talked about him the first hour, so.
Well, I wasn't here.
That's not the audience's fault.
Oh, why are you bringing the audience into this?
They're the ones who brought it up, not me.
All right. Well, you know what? Fine. I won't talk about it.
But while we're deciding, you should probably talk about cat coolers.
I really want to talk about cat coolers the mostest. Because cat coolers, Brad, as you know, are the coolest looking, most durable.
I see what you did there.
You like that?
When you say they're cool, you mean they're so cool they're cold.
That's right. On the inside.
Like my ex-wife. Hey-o.
Brad, that was funny.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Like my ex-wife.
Try the veal.
But cat coolers, if you go to catcoolers.com right now and peruse their abundant variety.
They'll keep your sandwich colder than putting it between 2 Ronnie Millsap albums.
Or 2 of Brad's ex-wife.
Hey.
Hey.
You got to work on the timing on that one a little bit. Timing is everything.
God, he's so critical. He's like his ex-wife.
Whoa, it got cold in here. Did somebody hide my ex-wife's heart in this room?
Fun fact, if you put Brad's ex-wife's heart in a cat cooler, it'll keep everything else cold because it's so cold that it freezes things.
For legal reasons, I may or may not be talking about an actual ex-wife.
Please don't.
She's going to call you later.
Yeah, she's going to. I was listening to your show because I stalk you.
Yeah, she won't call. You'll just hear the shot ring out. Oh, man, Brad, are you okay? He just fell. He was like standing there and boom, gone.
Brad?
Mm-hmm.
Brad? Oh, he's dead. Okay.
I did it for Johnny.
Anyway.
Wait, who's Johnny? Who's Johnny?
You know what's cool but keeps your heart warm? Cat coolers. That's what's up. Cat coolers. you can modify your cat cooler to be as cool as you want it to be. Go ahead and get it in any color you want. Do you want it in cat yellow?
Or cat blue?
Cat red?
Color.
Cat camo? You can do whatever you want to, folks. And right now, if you go to catcoolers.com and purchase a cat cooler, enter the promo code Brandon, that's me, Brandon, and you'll get 10% off your cat cooler purchase. Go to catcoolers.com right now.
Don't forget, it's a
beat.
That's all you get.
I stay out too late.
See, you knew what it was. Didn't have to do it. All right, so I think we've been so serious the past 45 minutes. It's just been like, man, just.
Well, your ex-wife is a very serious topic, man.
Thank you. We've been so serious. I think we should talk about Admiral Akbar's death.
You know what? Solid idea. Because I want to say this. You know how I think he should have died?
How's that?
All
Hit
right.
by a train?
And that's depressing, Brad. Almost as depressing as your ex-wife.
Hold on. Hit me with that one more time. Almost
With your ex-wife.
Hey, our drummer's been drinking. Drummer's obviously drunk.
This is the worst bit I've ever done.
No, it's not. I don't do self-deprecating humor. I'm just not good at it.
I see what you did there. That was good.
Thank you.
Tim Rose, he's a Star Wars alum. He was the puppeteer and at one point in time voice actor for Admiral Akbar. It's a trap!
So he's had his hand up Admiral Akbar's butt.
Oh, no. He had his entire body up that
What
butt.
a kiss ass, huh?
Ha! And here's the thing. Even though Admiral Akbar really only had like, a dozen lines throughout the entirety of that being the most famous one.
Yeah.
He only had like a handful of lines throughout the entire run of Star Wars.
That's because it was hard to talk with a fish head over
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But he was just so memorable. Everyone, he turns around and there's like this big fish guy commanding the entire rebel force. And you're just like, all right, I know nothing about this guy, but I like him.
Do we have to do what the fish guy says?
He was only in Return of the Jedi before this one, right?
Yeah, he was in Return of the Jedi, and then I think he had like a very small part in The Force Awakens, and then in TLJ is where he bit it. And then, but regardless, the fans loved Admiral Akbar. He was so cool. He's like Boba Fett. Boba Fett only had like, 3 lines? Three or 5, like one of those. But seriously, people love Boba Fett.
And he died in the most disappointing way.
Oh, I know. It was so stupid.
Not as bad as the way that Han Solo died, but we won't get into that.
Yeah, but at least Han Solo's death had some weight to it. But I will say that with Admiral Akbar, I really feel like he should have had a much greater send-off. Even though he was a minor character, I really feel like the guy had weight. He was beloved by the fans, and the fans are what you really, at the end of the day, want to please. You want to make sure that the people who are in the Star Wars community stay in the Star Wars community, because the Star Wars community is what holds Star Wars up. This goes for any fandom, you know? But I felt like Rian Johnson, the guy who directed The Last Jedi, and I mean, like, I don't have to feel like it. He confirmed it. He was out to basically kill the past. He actually made it a line in the movie. You got to kill the past. And seeing as how Admiral Akbar was beloved by the Star Wars fandom, he had to go for some reason because Rian Johnson was a dick like that.
But it was pointless. That's the only thing. It was just completely pointless. I know that they were losing in the battle, but you're just like, bye.
Yeah, exactly. And his send-off was so horrible. And so I really feel like, just a shot to the helm is what took him out. You know, everyone got blown out into space, but Leia survived because she's Force sensitive, you know.
Is that why she survived the float?
Yeah, she Mary Poppins to back because she was able to
it never
control
made
the
any
Force.
damn sense to me because I was like,
it never did make sense.
Completely disappointed.
Which I thought, in light of the fact that she did die, a month later,
it would make sense if
it was
she
kind of
died.
weird.
Yeah, exactly. But so he unceremoniously dies. They blow him out into space, and that was that. They hardly said anything about him. They just were like, oh, and here's Admiral Holdo, who's so awesome. Look, it's a woman with pink hair. Girl power. It's, dude, you are the most. And then she proceeds to have this ridiculous plan that she doesn't tell anybody about for some reason. Okay, the entire time you're like, you know what? Good for Poe, the pilot, for mutinying against her. I would.
Laura Dern had the most annoying character since Jar Jar Binks.
I said that. That's actually what I say in my article. She contends with Jar Jar Binks for being the most annoying character.
Wandering Slug says Admiral Akbar had a very well-developed character in the expanded universe. He was a fan favorite as a result. So in the books, apparently he was big.
Oh, good.
And he had a big head.
But like Admiral Holdo, her entire thing was, okay, so my plan is, we have a secret base on a planet not far from here. We're going to make our way there while we use our other craft as target practice for the people who are chasing us. And then we're going to secretly make our way to the base and hide there while they destroy our final ship and they think they got us.
Sounds like a plan to me. What's for lunch?
But I'm not going to tell anybody. Why would you not do that? Why would you not gather people in a room and be like, here's the deal. Don't freak out. Nobody panic. I'm not just letting us die slowly. I have a plan. Here it is.
It's very poor story writing.
Exactly. Rian Johnson is the worst. Like, what was the whole point of the casino planet? That was stupid. It paid off for nothing in the end.
I forgot about that part. It was so bad.
It was so they could bring back the bar scene.
Oh, it's so stupid.
In a casino.
But you have to kill the past. I don't know what you want.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
So he was getting interviewed by a podcast, Rose was, Tim Rose, and he was saying, so in The Last Jedi, I was quite looking forward to maybe them giving him something more juicy. He means Admiral Akbar. We were only given the script on the day we were, when we were shooting that piece of the script. So each day, he didn't know what was coming. He said, I would come to work going, is today the day when Akbar gets something a bit more involving? And I looked at my script and I went, oh, Akbar's going out the window. Well, that's that then.
Well, that's involving.
And he said after it was all said and done, Rose was asked to come back. He thought that perhaps the cast and crew were going to thank him for his time spent, as well as, as a well-loved character in the time-honored Star Wars series. He was 30 years. He was Admiral Akbar. This was his biggest claim to fame. He had done more stuff, but this was his big thing.
See the guy with the big fish head?
Yeah.
That's me.
And all they had him do...
It's a trap.
No, something along those lines. They said, we finished all of our bits, and then they asked me to come down to camera, and I thought, oh, well, maybe that they're going to say, thank you for being one of the heritage characters and giving 30 years and all that.
Nope.
But what they did was they gave me a Millennial Falcon sign that had the day and the date on it, the scene number, and they said...
Falcon?
Huh?
Is that anything like the Millennium Falcon?
That is what did I say Millennial?
You said the Millennial Falcon.
Force of habit. That day and date on it, the scene number, and they said, can you look at the camera and say, it's a wrap? Like you would say, it's a trap. Because that would be really funny.
You're right, it would.
What a slap in the face.
It is a slap in the face, really.
Which, ironically, getting a fish slap in the face
is
funnier than being slapped with a fish. Because he was a fish being slapped in the face by a human.
You're so proud.
Hold on. It's a trap theme song.
It's a trap.
Apparently he doesn't say it much in here. Oh, there's no, sorry.
Yeah, it's just Admiral Akbar
dancing
Admiral
to
Akbar Sandstorm.
Well, that's sad.
He said, I was actually in tears in the suit because I thought after everything, after hoping there'd be something, after knowing there was going to be anything else, Akbar's final moment before he went into a box was a big joke about, it's a wrap! They just thought, wouldn't it be funny? And that was the total sum of my life as Akbar.
But you know what? He got paid to do the damn role, put on the fish head, say your line, and shut up.
Yeah, but, okay, how many people go out there with their, hating their jobs, but they do it because they have to get paid? You don't have to even Hamill was the same way, and I don't blame either of them for this. I mean, they did what they were paid to do. Right. But the thing about
it's
their
not
characters,
the actor, it's the character, yes.
They were characters who had helped define our culture.
It's a trap.
And Akbar, for as minor as a part as he was, imagine being the guy who spent 30 years being like, I'm Admiral Akbar. And he's called back after 30 years to reprise his role in one of the greatest stories ever made, and they blow him out a window.
But he gets
now say it's a wrap.
Yeah, now say it's a wrap. Can you do that for us? Can you say it's a wrap?
It's much like Varys getting fire breathed by the dragon.
Exactly. It's like, the Varys response is just, no. This is so horrible. This is the worst.
This is how we wrap up 30 years of
exactly.
Yes.
I'm not done. We're about to go to break, but I've got some things to say.
You also had the rich solution to do, but you didn't get that either.
Well, we're going to do that first when we come back, the rich solution.
Good idea. Just don't forget, it's a wrap. Or a trap.
It's a wrap.
It's a fish. It's a fish being slapped by a guy. See? That's called ironic. Alanis.
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, freedom. MoJo 50.
For the better part of 5 years now, progressive cities across this country have been passing soda tax laws, all in an effort to raise badly needed cash and improve the health of their cities. As with all things new, whether you like them or not, the question is if they're working. We now have some good empirical evidence for the city of Philadelphia's soda tax that was implemented in 2017, with politicians selling it as a way to fund pre-K education first and foremost. The tax amounts to 1.5 cents per ounce on sugary drinks. As for how it's doing, well, the numbers don't lie here. According to JAMA, sales of tax beverages fell some 51% over the course of 2 years from 2016 to the end of 2017. People appeared to just go elsewhere, as cross-border sales went up 24.4% and effectively meant a drop in sales of 38%. That number differs significantly from a Stanford working paper that saw a 22% decline. But both come to the same conclusion, that few people are switching to non-tax drinks. As for the revenue stream, projections were 15% short of actual revenue. One would think that seeing that big of a drop in revenue would be a major problem. But you would be wrong here, because it's all in the name of public health, you see, says the proponents as they move the goalpost further away again. So, how are those numbers doing? We don't have Philly-specific numbers, but we do have a report out of New Zealand that took a look at 47 different studies on sugar taxes from around the world and found no sugar tax in the world has led to improved health. Yes, that's right. Nowhere in the entire world are soda taxes linked to a decline in obesity or any other health category. It all adds up to these soda tax proponents being full of it, no matter where they move the goalpost to. I'm Andrew Coppins. This has been By the Numbers, and you can follow me on all the socials at The Coppins Show.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by Patriot Mobile, America's only conservative cell phone company offering super reliable nationwide service, donating a portion of their profits to organizations fighting for our conservative values. Call 1-800-A-PATRIOT or visit patriotmobile.com.
The Daily Mojo.
CTG Print Addicts LLC. Brad's ex-wife, ex-heart is so cold she shits ice cubes.
That's good.
Florida Epiman. Apparently the writers of Last Jedi also worked on Season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Oh, get ready, because the guys who worked on Season 8 of Game of Thrones are actually going to write the next Star Wars movies.
And
Confirmed.
National G Emergency says, what the hell is an aluminum falcon?
I remember that.
You don't want to put an aluminum anything in your smoothie if you're going to have it for breakfast, do you? Because at the Rich Solution, they warn you, don't drink aluminum. Or mercury.
Yeah.
Or arsenic.
Pretty much none of those things are good.
All the bad stuff. I mean, if you look at the periodic table of elements, you really shouldn't eat any of them. Should you?
I don't know. I feel like that would be a bad
selenium?
idea.
Shouldn't you eat selenium?
Well, I heard it's really, really good for, like, eyesight.
Yeah, there
Selenium.
you go.
There you go.
Sprinkle a little selenium on your salad. Or you can go to the Rich Solutions Facebook page, or in fact the group, the health group, if you will, Doc Thompson's Healthy Lifestyle Challenge over on Facebook. You can find out what they are doing. It's a big old support group, and some people in there have lost upwards of 20 pounds. Maybe I should have been in there more often. If you go there right now, you'll find they got some great smoothie recipes going on. If you are into the supplement world, you can go to therichsolution.com, click on supplements, and find all of the fantabulous life extension supplements, which is probably, if not the top, one of the top brands for supplements. And let me put it this way, in the supplement world, if you find a better price on these things than somewhere else, let me know, let them know, because according to Adam, they are like at rock bottom prices, and he has done the homework there. And then, of course, there's Gwen. You can catch her is it Tuesday, Thursday on Spoonie? I think I know this by now. I think so. Yes,
every day that it's on.
Yes. Yeah. Very good. Erase that last part, Mike. We want to make it in 3, 2. And you can catch her over on Spoonie every day that she's on.
Exactly.
So it's
well
over
said,
on Spoonie Radio. Thank you very much. I thought of it myself.
Yeah.
TheRichSolution.com. Now, what were you about to say about the...
Yeah, you know how I feel like Akbar should have ended?
How?
Imagine that moment where Dern's character turns the big ship around.
That's Akbar's moment.
That's Akbar's moment. And it would have been perfect. And I feel like they really did it well when it came. Have you ever seen how it should have ended? The YouTube channel?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's great. They take movies that, like, they take the stupid parts of movies or something like that, and they actually inject, like, how it really should have gone. And, but this one is like
it's the one I saw with Game of Thrones. The guy actually had really good ideas for how it should have ended.
Oh, yeah. Huh. But this one, it's got Akbar, and he's actually doing the whole thing that Dern did. And he's sitting in the chair, and he's like, "This is Admiral Akbar trying to contact the leader of the First Order."
That's a really good Akbar.
Thank you. And it's like, this is Captain blah, blah, blah. And he goes, do you know what this is? And he's like, do you know what is? Do you know what this is? And as he says, the ship is turning around, and he goes, no, what is this? He goes, it's a trap. And whoosh, he just sends the ship in there. And that would have been a monumental send-off. A fan pleaser all around, and just I love it. But
that would have been good.
He was
You're
just
right.
blown out the window.
And what was that lady's name? Dern?
Laura Dern.
Laura Dern?
Technically,
Admiral
he would have
Holdo
been,
is the
Holdo?
Yeah.
He would have been sucked out the window, not blown.
Was this the first movie she was in?
Yes.
So
and
you
the
didn't
last
care
one.
about her?
Nope.
So then you give her the heroic moment.
Right.
And that kind of kills it because you still don't care about her.
Yeah, you don't care about
Whoa,
her at
whoa,
all.
whoa, whoa! Time out. Dern's character was from. She was like an existing character.
No, she was like an off-screen character. She's like, oh, she has such a when they announce her, they're like, oh, that Admiral Holdo of the Battle of blah blah blah. I can't believe that she's here and she's going to lead us. This is so wonderful.
Did she really have a past in the Star Wars universe?
They just made it up right there. Just for that movie specifically.
Oh, please.
But the worst part about it is that she wasn't injected really to be a part, like a solid part of the story. She was injected for political reasons. The whole point of Holdo's character was the whole girl power, feminine thing. Even J.J. Abrams later on said, well, the whole reason that people didn't like The Last Jedi was because they're scared of strong women. It's like, no, we just hate bad story. Look, there are plenty of strong women in the Star Wars universe, Princess Leia being one of them.
Could they not have found an actress without a brontosaurus neck? Laura Dern. Her neck. It was just so.
She was in Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah, she
was. Yeah.
Her neck is just so abnormally long.
She could reach the top of the trees. She is evolutionarily.
But it never seemed that long before this movie, and then this movie, you're going, "Oh my god!"
They really made it.
Her neck is so long.
I think it's because we've had her.
It makes me sexually curious.
It was very odd to me. It was like, that is just weird.
Yeah. But the whole reason they injected her was just because they wanted to be like, yeah, look at girl power. Look, women can be strong, and women, can be leaders, and But this happens way too often in our culture nowadays. It's screw story. Right. The story doesn't matter.
That's the problem. We watch these things to escape the realities of today.
Exactly.
And then you inject it in, and you're like, why are you making me watching it now?
Exactly.
I don't want to watch this.
How many times, Code Monkeys, have I said, don't inject politics into our escapism, because that makes people tune out, and it doesn't matter what it is. The NFL, ESPN. ESPN was losing an average of 15,000 subscribers a day in the month of October.
Yes.
Okay, you had the NFL, which lost in 2017 35% of its audience. Okay.
Yep.
All right. What else? Dick's Sporting Goods. We got a little social justice with the gun control.
Don't be a dick.
Exactly. People stopped going there. This is how it works. You inject politics, okay? People tune out. The same thing goes with Hollywood. I feel like there is no stopping the downturn of people who are wanting to watch award shows now. You notice that more than half the nation is also, the same amount of people who have stopped watching these award shows are the same amount of people who have stopped watching late night comedy shows, like The Late Show with Stephen Colbert and stuff. You alienate a lot of people. A lot of people don't want to come see it. The reason that a lot of people didn't like The Last Jedi, besides the bad storyline, was because they were trying to hit us with stuff that we don't care about. We're not here to watch you say girl power, yada, yada, yada. Okay? That's not why we showed up to this movie. Okay? If you are going to make a girl power message, at least make it fit. At least make it cool.
I'm here to see Admiral Akbar ram his ship down their throat.
Exactly.
That's what I'm here
Ring
to see.
a ding, man.
Aha.
That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Admiral Akbar with a powerful send-off moment. If you wanted to kill him, then that's fine. That's what characters are for. It would be tragic. And you know what? It would have been a great part of the story where it's, all right, we're at our last desperate moment. I only have one move left. I'm just going to sacrifice myself for the sake of the rebellion, and because I believed in it for so long, the fans, are going to love this, yada, yada, yada. It's a trap! Boom! And he's done. And he went out like a hero. Instead, he went out like a bitch. What the hell was Johnson thinking?
They weren't.
He wasn't.
I'll make you feel better. I can make you feel better right now. Mike, take this full screen. I want you to take a look at her and tell me you don't feel better looking at Chloe Elizabeth.
Who is she?
That is disgusting.
That is Chloe Elizabeth. She is on Instagram. She has 302,000+ followers. She's a very attractive young lady wearing a lime green bathing suit and very nicely tanned, and she has been accused of modern day blackface. Because now being tanned is modern day blackface.
You know what? I hope that the social justice community keeps doing this nonsense. I really do.
So yes, some of the responses to this post of her. How many times do black people have to tell you to stop doing blackface? I asked one of the posters.
Can you send this article to me?
Her tan was mockery and a form of racism.
Unfreaking believable.
Chloe Wilson, known on Instagram for showing off her skin in alluring bikini shots, admitting to having blocked comments from a number of users who actually took issue with her complexion.
That's so ridiculous.
Is that not the best?
This is... Oh, how do I... Good God.
To all those people saying what I'm doing is cruel, vile, offensive, you are all literally slating me in tweets. Apparently she's English because I have no idea what slating me, unless that's like a hipster young kid thing. What is slating?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what slating is.
I have no idea. That's a new one.
So just erase that part, Mike. We'll just go. She was accused of slating. That's a
who slates nowadays?
Right? I know, right? That's
Good
so last
Lord.
week.
Slating. That's not
right?
a thing that we should do because it's lame and stupid.
Do you think they're saying that because of the lip injection she's got, and now they're like, now your face looks like?
What are you suggesting?
What are you
suggesting
that.
I'm
suggesting that.
You mean a woman did something to make her lips look more full and luscious?
Yeah, and so now they're relating her to blackface because her lips are fuller?
Because she has a tan and her lips are fuller. That's freaking
I hadn't noticed the
ridiculous.
lips until you said something about it. I didn't even know she had a face.
By the way, I just...
No, she does look like she ate a blowfish or something and had a little allergic reaction.
She got a little bit of a bee sting there on her. On her facial section.
Yeah, I was going to say those aren't bee stings. A little lower. Those are.
Good Lord.
Those are. She basically said, she says, "Oh, F off with calling me racist because I've tanned on the sunbed.
Good for her.
I've just bought about. Oh, literally must be. I've just bought about 3 bottles of Factor 50 because now am scared to tan on my holiday."
My holiday?
You know, the only thing worse than new slang is British new slang.
Yeah.
I can't keep up. I can't speak 14 different languages.
I really feel like the slang thing should have stopped at like World War II when we came up with the best slang for everything.
It's so fresh.
Dude, that was
fresh.
Oh, that's lit, fam.
Right? Sorry if the tanning on the sunbed has caused offense. It was never intended.
Wait, no, she didn't apologize. Please, God, tell me that wasn't her.
Still a blogger. Anyway, yeah, she did.
Don't ever apologize. Ever.
Wilson's page isn't all shade. However, she says
she sarcastically apologized.
Yeah, I
don't think it's a real apology.
Okay. Thank God.
Man, she is dark there, isn't she?
Look, people tan.
darker than we are. Name the movie. Thank you.
People tan and people tan darker than other people. This is ridiculous. Calling her what about her looks remotely black, by the way? Have you seen a naturally tanned white person?
You ever seen Lawrence Jones trying to get a tan? Now that's funny.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Lawrence.
He said he gets sunburn. I guess it would make sense if you can get sunburn, but
yeah, but Lawrence, buddy, bro, quit that nonsense, man.
Lawrence and his tan. Damn, Lawrence.
Do you like my tan?
Yeah, you look an awful tan today.
Buddy.
By the way, Mike has no idea who Lawrence is.
Oh, Lawrence is...
I have no idea.
So Lawrence Jones is an old friend of mine. He used to work at the Blaze. Now he's at Fox.
I just kind of know him. He's just acquaintances.
I used to, he and I used to work together a lot. But
yeah, we never did. I've just been a fan of his on Twitter.
But
That's him right there.
No, this is to me. This is like an attempt. I feel I don't know if these are genuine feelings from people about like don't do blackface. Either they're stupid.
I'm going with the stupid.
Either they're stupid,
or they're just trolling.
Or no, they're not just trolling. They're actually trying to control a conversation. They're trying to control a narrative. They're trying to basically make it so that anytime anybody does anything when you're white, you're basically acting while white. That is the crime. Anytime you do anything that makes your skin darker or your lips bigger, whatever, it doesn't matter. They can immediately say, well, you're just trying to appropriate my culture. You're just trying to look like my race, yada, yada, yada. And, you're trying to move in on my victim status. And that
What if they're angry because they can't get lighter?
That's actually a legitimate thing I think they do.
If they're what now?
Like, they don't like the fact that some people can tan like that and kind of look black, but they can't get lighter. That's the problem.
I mean, maybe.
And they're mad we can play all these races.
Yeah, that's true.
Is it hotter to see a woman really, really pale or really, really tan?
Yes.
Which one?
Both are pretty awesome.
I go for more pale. I do.
Do you
I
really?
like
You
somewhat
like the
tan.
you like the vampire thing?
The pale, but the goth thing works for me.
The super dark, too leathery.
No, I don't need that nonsense. But the goth thing works for me.
So you don't like you don't like the darkies.
I like the dark hair and the white skin,
the fair skin.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
But
racist.
But no, this is asinine. Look, you can't just sit there and throw the term racist around all the time. People do it too much, and that's why we're getting desensitized.
I feel like you just raped me with your words. With your racist words.
See, yeah, exactly, Brad. I apologize for that, by the way.
Thank you.
But no, I feel like there's slowly but surely a huge turn from the social justice nonsense that we're doing because people are now overusing it way too much. It's like anytime you take a step out of line over anything. If I breathe out my right nostril, they're like suddenly, oh, it's racist that you didn't breathe out your left. Well,
if it whistles.
Quit raping your left nostril.
That is annoying, though. Have you ever heard that sometimes on a TV show when they get their microphone too close to and you can hear them and you hear the whistle, and then that's all you can hear?
So annoying.
Dude, I hate it when Trump speaks because he does that like way too close to the mic thing. You hear him go, and that's why I think that maybe we should at some point in time talk to China about maybe doing a trade war. And
it
stop.
turns into the Darth
Drive
Vader
me crazy.
I'm surprised they haven't called him Darth Vader yet.
Because
he's done everything else wrong.
Well, no, because that would actually be like rewarding him, right? Because Darth Vader, everyone loves Darth Vader.
That's true.
Everyone loves Darth Vader. That's true. But yeah, I mean, like, what else? I have noticed this. Have you noticed that they're going after celebrities in various countries, like not just America, who are lighter skinned, and they accuse like various. Like not just Hollywood, but like Bollywood, the Chinese market, whatever the equivalent of China Hollywood is. They're like the lighter skinned they are, the more likely they are to get paid and they're paid more.
Here we go.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, now there's a bias in acting.
Are you talking about Hollywood?
Hollywood.
That's racist.
It's okay, kid.
Dude.
It's okay, kid. I can't say Chibare.
What?
Do you not remember the Isuzu commercials?
No, I don't.
Oh, man, you were born too late.
Apparently.
The Isuzu commercials where it's Joey Suzu, I think, talking to the Japanese guy, and the Japanese guy keeps going, Joey Suzu keeps going, it's Isuzu, and he can't say Isuzu, and the Japanese guy looks over him and he says, that's okay, kid, I can't say Chibare. It was just, you can't do
What's
those.
Chibare?
Chevrolet.
Chevrolet. Got
I
it.
can't say Chibare.
Okay. That
was an Isuzu commercial.
That makes sense.
You can't do that anymore, can you?
No, you
because
can't.
It's too damn funny. Because there's people laughing at themselves.
Everybody's too sensitive
Yes.
these days.
Nowadays. Yeah. No. Yeah. Absolutely. Brad's about to have a heart attack.
It just.
But race has been injected into everything. It sucks now. You can't You can't do it. You can't even get a tan.
Just get in your truck and go listen to Slipknot. You'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be fine. Or Taylor Swift if you want to have a nice ride home.
No, she couldn't keep her damn mouth shut about politics.
Oh my God! Don't get me started.
You notice that since then,
her stock has definitely fallen.
Just saying.
She released a song with Brendan Urie.
I love that album.
Yeah,
the Brendan Urie, Taylor Swift
experience.
Swift.
The Swift Urie experience.
Have you never had a Swift Urie? You don't know what you're missing.
Why is Brandon Urie still around? Like, Panic at the Disco died. I feel like he should have just gone with it.
Yeah, he released a few good songs, but yeah, after that, Brendan Urie. Because without Ryan Ross, he just sucks, man. I'm sorry.
He does.
Alexa,
you're not going to be a one-man show forever.
Exactly. Ryan Ross was the brains behind Panic at the Disco, and he did go a little crazy with 9 in the Afternoon, but I will say, or Mostly Odd was the album, but I think that they should have given him a chance and let him keep going. But no, Ryan Ross, yeah, he was done.
Alexa, play Panic at the Disco. Everywhere. Is she doing it? Yes, thank you. It's weird because on Amazon Music, every time they play Panic at the Disco, they announce it.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand.
It's a fun word to say.
But I don't understand that. I mean, it's every time if you're listening to any channel with Panic at the Disco on
Here's Panic at the Disco.
Yes, here's Panic and I don't get why they do that.
But she released a song with Brendan Urie, and I listened to it, and I have to say unequivocally, objectively, I can say objectively, it is a horrible song. It sucks. Now, normally when Taylor Swift releases a really bad song, a demonstrably bad song, it doesn't matter. Taylor Swift released a new song, and we need to throw like a national parade over it. Okay?
A lot of them were good.
No, nothing happened.
Was it the song or
it was
politics?
I'm wondering because the song is bad, but I mean, like, so was what was that one song where she works up to a really hardcore beat? You think she's gonna drop a greatest hook, and then she's like,
"Look what you made me do.
Look what you made me do. Look what you made me." And I'm just like,
that's
God,
right.
this is horrible.
Is that the one where thanks for calling Taylor Swift is dead or
yeah,
something? Yeah,
I was like, this song is just the worst.
Did a third grader write these lyrics?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, Taylor Swift can't come to the phone right now because she's dead. This is not.
And
you just gave me goosebumps of embarrassment. Like,
yeah, seriously, I feel bad for you.
My old neighbor's ex-wife wrote half of the first Taylor Swift album.
Really?
Cha-ching.
Yeah. Wow.
Cha-ching.
Taylor Swift is good at writing, I think, catchy stuff. That is true. But there are songs that she releases that are just bad, really bad.
I don't know.
But even then,
to do with it,
But no. But even then, the bad songs were like the best songs in the world. Yes, Queen, she did it. Now she releases a bad song, and people they shrug it off. It's like, I don't know. Oh well. Why? That didn't start happening until after she got involved in politics.
Yeah.
Something had to have shifted here. And I think it's because Taylor Swift suddenly went on board full bore leftist with the whole, you should support a Democrat because of X, Y, and Z, even though that Democrat is not remotely supportive of the things that you support. And also, hey, let's also support things like abortion.
If she had just taken a clue from Dolly Parton.
Exactly.
And not said anything.
Dolly straight up will deny talking about politics.
Right.
Straight up. She's like, she even says I'm here just to entertain people.
She
I'm not
might
here to
be
give
a
you my
hardcore
opinion.
leftist.
Yeah, exactly. She might
likely is.
I actually wrote that one time about Taylor Swift. I was like, you know what? She might be like a pro-abortion hardcore leftist who loves Antifa. I will never know.
Don't want to know.
And I don't want to know.
Nope.
Just do what you do.
Shut up and play your music.
And that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
But she didn't.
Nope.
And now look at her. You know? But I'm not saying that she's still ridiculously successful. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying her career is over. It's not. It's not remotely over. But I will say this.
They just don't want to hear it.
Now I'm
the listeners don't want to hear it.
I think people are just less enthused now.
And if you're listening, Taylor, please stop calling me. It's getting embarrassing, and I think I said no, and I think in this case, no means no. Please respect my wishes.
Thank you, Taylor, for.
I mean, just please. I can't. No, it's too soon.
For keeping Brad on his toes.
PatriotMobile.com will keep you on your toes especially if you leave your cell phone on a high shelf. That was weak, but it worked.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, man, if it happened,
just remember what they say. Never ask permission to tell the joke. Move through the joke and keep right on walking. That's what you have to do right there. So you go to patriotmobile.com/mojo50 and check out the different data plans. Find out the coverage.
Kirk Slightly Venomous Jackal automatically wins all the contests for today.
What'd he say?
Just, I'll tell you that after we wrap this up. It's what he learned today, and I can't wait to tell you guys what he learned.
We'll go to patriotmobile.com/mojo50. Check the coverage. And again, remember, patriotmobile.com is the cell phone company that you want to go with if you are tired of your cell phone company, maybe funding those lefty, progressive
Scoobity Bops.
Exactly. And you don't want those, the doobity wops either. Both of those, they should in the same basket. Just
they put the jello in the
put the pills in the pudding and the pudding and the people. You don't support the pudding and the people. Go to patriotmobile.com/mojo50 and get your be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Speaking of the solution, it's probably time to wrap up this donkey pony show.
What do you mean it's Let's Go?
Thank you for tuning in to this ridiculous version or episode.
Wow.
Of your Daily Mojo.
That is it, ladies and gentlemen, the end of Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo. Before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. We learned that keeping a sandwich cold is as simple as putting it between two slices of ice.
Of Brad's ex-wife.
That too. We learned that Admiral Akbar's death smelled awful fishy.
Hey!
See what I did there? You see, he's a fish head.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we learned there's nothing worse than a racist rape. There really isn't, if you think about it.
It is pretty bad.
It's really bad. The Brandon Morris from redstate.com. What, if anything, did you learn today?
I learned that don't go to the next Star Wars movie because it's a trap!
It's a... Hold on. It's a trap!
There it is. There it is.
Do you know that there's not one clean version of him saying that anywhere? It's all got... It's a trap! It's got like space
Yeah, it's got the
noise
nonsense
behind
going
it.
on in the back. Yeah.
It's like, could he not have just once said it?
Can he just record
clean?
one for us that's clean? Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah. I hear you, Brad. So. Also, I learned that if you're giving birth and someone touches you down there, feel free to scream rape because apparently the social justice community has, if it's taught us anything,
birth rape.
That we're all doomed anyway. Kirk Slightly Venomous Jackal said he learned Taylor Swift has 500 songs about guys leaving her and 0 songs about blowjobs. See where I'm going with this?
Wow. Wow. There's,
He brings up an interesting point. Brad Staggs Flannel Jacket said, I have reason to believe Brad's ex-wife is Karen.
Ha! I have no comment on that due to legal constraints on my part.
Hey, Leprechaun 420, what happened today? Yep, just tell us whenever you're ready, buddy.
Whatever.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's nice. Yep.
7 missed innuendo bell count for today's show. 7 missed innuendo bells. 15 actual bells. 6 horns. And 22 rim shots there, Brad. Peace out, y'all. Have a great day.
Where does he find these? I just don't.
I like the fact that he really crowds the mic with these little devices. Like, you're going to hear it.
I know. I'm always prepared with these headphones on. It's like, ow.
I've actually gotten to the point where I know, like, to turn it down immediately.
What?
On the board.
Huh?
I said...
what?
I said your
lips are moving. I can't hear anything.
I said you're a beautiful man, Brad. You're a beautiful man.
What about my gland?
I said you're in the clan now.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations.
Right. Yes, absolutely. I appreciate that.
Yeah, do you want your robe?
No, thank you. What's the point?
Oh, that was a horrible bit. Sorry, everybody. Sorry. I apologize.
You should. You really should.
It's true. All right. That'll pretty much do it, I feel like.
No, you got another 20 seconds.
Oh,
Go
should
ahead,
I just keep going now
yeah,
for
be
another
entertaining.
20?
You
Good
got 20
Lord,
more
this is
seconds to be
awkward.
entertaining, yeah.
This is awkward. So what do I want to talk about?
I don't know.
Meantime?
Make it entertaining.
All right. Well, thank you folks so much for tuning in to your Daily Mojo, to Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo.
Make it entertaining.
You too. You live by the 5 rules.
You're done.
You too
we'll
can
get
live
to
out
those
life.
new numbers on procrastination as soon as Doc Thompson returns from his vacation. You were close.
Thank you.
In the meantime, your Daily Mojo is a Ron Phillips and a
Mike
production. Wherever you go, whatever you do, live by the 5 rules. Got a shot of being right, being happy. Good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are. Mike.
Yeah, that's what he said.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Wally Hines.